time. All right, we're live. There we went. I kept getting an error message that said from YouTube that the live streaming is not working, not available right now, it said. So now we finally got it going. So good morning, everybody. How you doing? Raini is not here yet. She's still up in bed, and I heard her up with the kids earlier. So she is up there at least talking to somebody. I also already had a child down here challenging my authority. So it's been a full morning already. No, frankly, happy Sunday morning, by the way. For those of you who don't know, who might be watching but not appearing in the chat room, I'm Scotty Roberts. This is not the Intrepid radio program, but it's the same channel where you're going to find it. The Intrepid radio program plays Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. West Coast time, and every night of the week. And that's Monday through Friday. And Sunday is just for free. This is just our live stream. It's not broadcasting on Odyssey Radio. And it is just us over here. Private, wee little us. Wee little us over here on the YouTube channel. And hey, Kevin, how you doing? Kevin Miller, Bookworm. Good to see you, brother. 2 hours of chat box conversation coming up. That's right. 2 hours of, this show, I don't claim that this show accomplishes anything other than just providing a way for us to get together and talk about some issues and air some issues and talk about nothing if we don't want to talk about nothing. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Good morning. How's things? Dustin, how you going? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the YouTube would not let me start the stream this morning. It kept saying there was a glitch of some kind, and I think about 9:03 we finally got in. So good to have you here. Dustin says, I can, Scott. Oh, okay, you could see me. Great. You could see my texting. All I could see were my texts going up and past texts from a little earlier, a few minutes earlier. And so I wasn't sure if it was going through. And so good morning, everybody. We got Steph and Audrey and Master Finn and Darth Samuel Nagayan and Dustin. And who else is in here that I haven't mentioned yet? Kevin Miller, good to see you. Audrey and Teresa. I think those are the live ones in the chat, brave enough to show their face in the chat. Hang on. I gotta take a sip of coffee. So, I got up this morning, and I know some of you are parents and some of you aren't. One thing that grates me as a parent. Why a negative note? Let's see. I love my children. I love my wife. My children, we've been positively reinforcing our children for years to do the tasks that we give them to do. Now, so far, I will say this. From the time I was in about, by memory, if memory serves, back in the late 1960s, third grade, fourth grade, thereabouts, that's as early as I remember us really having a daily chore of doing the dishes. We call it doing dishes. And we didn't have a dishwasher. We're talking, let's see, when I was in third grade, that would have been, I was about 8 years old, I think, in the third grade, thereabouts. So 8 years old. I was a year before everybody. So I was 7 and 8 in the third grade. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. So because I was in the sixth grade in 72, I think in the fifth, fourth, third, 67, 68. Okay, third, fourth grade, end of the 1960s. And my mom was a single mom, and she had a job as a waitress in one of the, if any of you who grew up in Minneapolis and know Northeast, the northeast of Minneapolis, across the river. And we used to say, now some people will cry racist when I say this, But we used to have a joke back then. We'd say, "What's the longest bridge in the world?" Well, some of you might recognize this. Maybe you, Randy Miller, maybe others who are here from Minneapolis. We used to call it the Lowry Avenue Bridge because it linked Africa with Poland. So North Minneapolis being predominantly African American and Northeast being predominantly Polish. And so you just crossed the river, you were over into Northeast Minneapolis. And what was the point I was going to make about Northeast? My mom worked in a little pub over there called Sparky's Pub, which was connected to the Innsbruck Inn. That was over on Central Avenue and Lowry. I think it was near Lowry and Central Avenue, for those of you from Minneapolis. Anyway, that's what she did for a living. She was on public assistance back then. And my grandfather made sure that we were not impoverished. She had a little house on the corner in North Minneapolis. I've talked about this before. It's my house on Pooh Corner that I grew up in, where we lived for several years. And but she went to work, and she used to have to go to work roughly 3 p.m. So she was usually gone by the time we got off the bus after school, which was normally around 3:15 in the afternoon. And we got home in time to catch the last half of Dark Shadows every day, which aired at 3 o'clock. So I think we were home by 3:10 every day, and we go running into the door. But she'd already be gone for work. There would be instructions that, hey, heat up these pot pies for dinner, Swanson pot pies. That's what we ate for dinner when I was a kid. Or Swanson TV dinners. We had lots of TV dinners when I was a kid. And that seems so gross now, but when we were kids, it was cool. It's cool. We get to heat up our own little tin foil plate with all the little sections, and it's got Salisbury steak over here and some kind of gushy appley dish in here and corn or whatever, potatoes, and you put it in the oven for 15 minutes and it was done. So, but if we had dishes to do, if she left us something that she cooked, she said such and such is on the stove, blah, 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 then we would have to do the dishes. That was our jobs, to do the dishes every day. From the time I was in 1967, 68, in 3rd grade and up, as far back as I can remember, 3rd grade. You're old enough, you're responsible. If you're old enough to be able to pick up a TV remote, well, we didn't have a remote back then, but if you're old enough to switch the channels on the little black and white TV when I was a kid, find the shows you want to watch. If you're old enough to walk to school, if you're old enough to take the bus and govern yourself, if you're old enough to get dressed on your own and somewhat be able to match your colors and patterns, if you're old enough to run outside and get on your bike and ride 8 blocks away to the paper shack and pick up your newspapers and do a 30 paper route around a big city block and come home to eat dinner. If you're old enough to do that and you've got the understanding and the capability and the mechanics of your body to be able to do that, my mom figured we had the mechanics to make sure that we did our dishes every day. And boy, was there death's coming and what was it? Hell's coming and death's coming with me if we didn't do it. We stretched those limits once or twice and paid the heavy penalty for it. So, and then we always traded off. There were 3 of us. There was my young sister was 5 years younger than I am. My older brother was 1.5 years older than me. So we traded off. Who gets to wash? We called it wiping the dishes, dry the dishes with a towel, dry them, put them away. And then the little sister didn't do a whole lot, when I was in 3rd grade, and she wasn't even, was she kindergarten yet? I can't remember. Anyway, my mom's work schedule and all that all figured into it. And so we had a job. We grew up with chores. We were city kids, but we had chores. We had to make sure the kitchen was clean. The little dining room table was cleaned off. We had to make sure our stuff wasn't laying all over the house. My mom would get home usually between 11 o'clock and midnight, thereabouts. Sometimes she was there I can't remember what bar closing was back then, but sometimes she wasn't home till after midnight. And so that's the way we grew up. We had chores and we didn't question them. We did them. So now, yeah, Teresa, no such thing as dishwashers. We were the dishwashers. Yeah, I love TV dinners too. Swats and pot pies when I was a kid. Man, that was the best. We didn't have even mac and cheese back then like they have now. Kraft mac and cheese. We didn't have that. They hadn't invented it yet or something. And so, yeah, the brownies in the TV dinners. Yeah, baby. And so, hey, Roger Rabbit and Carly and Kinsey. Hey, Kinsey, how you doing? Currently cleaning up a blowout. Ooh, be here soon. Hey, have fun with that. Hopefully Carly's not cleaning up Roger's blowout. I'm assuming that's not what he meant. So yeah, we liked fried chicken. Every now and then my mom would get Colonel Sanders. Every now and then she'd bring home Burger King and we'd get a Whopper and fries. Back when a Whopper and fries cost you less than $1. You know what? I went to get my kids all wanted a Big Mac a few weeks ago. So we drove over. I didn't order the meals, so I didn't get sodas. We had stuff at home for them to drink. I ordered a Big Mac for 3 kids and 3 French fries. Do you know what that cost me? Nearly $30. When I was a kid, you could have gotten that whole identical meal for maybe $6 tops. Times have changed. But anyway, back to washing dishes. So I get up this morning. I like to get up in the morning. When I get up early, I want to do the dishes. I want to make sure my motivation is, well, number one, I don't like the mess. Number two, I want it to be done. So I don't rely on the kids to do it. Number three, and it's not their chore yet. Number three, I like Raini to be able to get up. What have I got all over me? Holy, I got stuff stuck all over me. I don't know what that is. I like Raini to be able to get up and walk into a clean kitchen. I don't want her to get up and think she's got to. No, I'm not good at it every day. There's a day a week usually where I don't get it done. But it's basically my chore. So much my chore, I got chewed out yesterday because dishes didn't get done the day before. So, and nobody did the dishes. Well, I didn't get to it. With my children, I think over and over, and this is something Rainey and I have talked about in here before with you guys about parenting. If I had a Whopper and fries, Kylie be cleaning my blowout for sure. Yeah, I can't eat that stuff anymore. Every blue moon, I'll go, oh man, I haven't had a Whopper in ages, but I thought I want a quarter pounder with cheese. I'll go get a Big Mac, and I'll get one, and I'm reminded very quickly why I don't eat that stuff anymore. But you get the craving, every fortnight or so. And so, so with our kids, it's graduating to the point where my son's 11. My son could do a chore now and have a regular chore. Right now, I don't trust them to even remember or figure out that they don't need to be told every day. They can just go do it. It's your chore. I want it done by this time every day. Grumble, moan, piss. Oh, you might as well be sticking a hot poker in my eyes than to have me pick up my own plate. Now, in the meantime, while I do the dishes in the morning, all I've asked of everybody, the gradual steps to getting them to taking care of stuff is, hey, everybody, clean off your own plate when you're done. If you've got a plate and it still has food on it, but you're done eating it and there's not enough there to save for any reason, take it to the garbage can, walk over, open the garbage can, tip it in. Oh, and if it doesn't fall out, scrape it off. Get one of the spatula things, that you can scrape with. scrape it into the garbage. Or use your hand, which I do many times. I take a plate over and I use my hand. I walk it to and I wash it. Now, I've also gotten this spray bottle of Dawn dish soap. It's kind of cool. And it's a spray bottle. You spray it, and it's got the foamy soap, and you wash it and rinse it, dry it, put it in the cabinet. So I showed the kids how to do that one day. Oh, they were rebelling, just coming over to I said, hey, everybody gather around with Dad at the sink. And I think I even used that tone of voice. And they're all like, "You're going to show me how I know how to clean dishes." I go, well, if you knew how to clean dishes, I wouldn't be showing this to you today. If you knew how to clean dishes, I wouldn't be doing it every day. I said, so here's what you do. I said, I'm not asking you to do this to pots and pans and things like that. I want you to take your dish. You just ate a meal. I said, now already for 2 years, I've been asking you to dump your leavings in the garbage. And when we had the ranch, we'd put them all in a bucket and throw them out into the horse pasture. Doesn't matter what it was, except bones. We didn't put bones out there, but the horses ate everything. Or the goats when we had goats. And but now we're in the town here. We don't have animals other than the dog, who can't eat people food because she will get fatter than fat can be fat. And so we stop her from eating people food. And I said, dump your food and rinse your plate and leave it in the sink. So when I do the dishes in the morning, I can load them into the dishwasher. Well, invariably every morning, even though that has been the mandate for 2 years, I get up to do the dishes. Even this morning, I'm doing dishes an hour and a half ago. And what do I find? I find the kids had a friend over yesterday. They made cupcakes and they had frosting that came with it. It was like a kit. And so they got the frostings and all the big bags, where you squeeze and do the frosting things. Well, that frosting's caked all over every plate, and they're stacked together in the sink on top of their bowls full of this conglomerate of that, or slime that they made, or whatever it might be. And I start to unload the sink, and I'm like, well, what the hell? Why did nobody rinse their plate? Frosting, by the way, melts in hot water. So there's been water sprayed over some of this, so the frosting's congealed all over everything. And so I'm going through and I'm murmuring. And damn kids, you rinse it. How many years before you figure out that you got to rinse your plate? So I'm doing that this morning. And I'm scraping crusted frosting off, running it under the hot water, getting everything. And of course, there's not enough room in the dishwasher for everything to go into one load. There's a bunch of mixing bowls and stuff like that. And so I left those all stacked, but I wanted the sinks clean. And finally, Rowan came downstairs and plops in front of the TV with the tuner, throws a blanket over her on the sofa and said, hey, I need you to come over here for a second. It's not my mess. I didn't do it. And I said, I haven't even said anything yet. I said, come over here. And I said, will you take this? And I had a big, it's a lid of like a sour cream plastic bucket thing, the lid. And I had scraped all the garbage out of the sink and out of all the drain traps and left it on that lid. And it was just a mound. And I was going to walk it over. I mean, it was everything from orange peels to congealed bread that had been sitting in water to little bits of some kind of unidentifiable meat and all kinds of bits of this and that and sludge and slime that you gotta, because nobody cleans off their plate, the person doing the dishes has to reach down into the traps and pull all that shit out of there. We don't have a garbage disposal. In this nice place that comes with all the amenities, they didn't put in garbage disposals in these townhomes. So I say, hey, because my hands are in the soap, I go, will you grab that lid, please? Look at that garbage. That's all the garbage that ended up in the sink. Will you throw that in the garbage for me, please? It's not mine. I didn't put it in there. It's not my garbage. Why do I being? I gotta do everything around here. How many parents have heard that? You make me do everything. Oh, I hear my daughter's back out there. So you make me do everything. It's not my mess. And I said, hey, look at that dishwasher that's loaded, full of dishes, full of glasses and cups and everything. I said, look at the clean sinks. I said, are all those dishes mine? No. I said, I still did them. I still washed them. And I said, how about, I said, so that plate over there is not yours. I don't care. Bring it to the sink. Well, and I asked her to clean all her mess off the table. So there's junk all over the table from her friend being over for an overnight the night before. So she's over there and I look back and she's back over there laying down watching TV. And I look at and this is, 20 seconds later. And I look at the table and she moved one thing to the sink and then left all of her trash. There's crumpled up wrappers and papers and junk, food particles. Well, I said, were you going to come over here and do what I asked you to do? It's not my mess. I cleaned up my mess. I said, I don't care. I don't give a rat's bahookie if that wrapper isn't your wrapper. I said, it ain't mine. I said, so, oh my God, who's going to clean it? I said, I know. Let's go get the whole family up and have everybody stand around the table and each person pick up their individual wrapper and piece of dry toast, which is nonsense. So I said, just pick it up. And there was a pizza box that had crusts in it. And I said, in that pizza box, that gets thrown out too. Hey, come here. I don't care. Come here. Come here, over here. We're talking about cleaning.
Not cleaning.
Come here. No. No, you're going to talk about it. You want to be a radio personality? Come here.
No.
You want to be a rock star?
No.
Come over here. Come over here. Come here. So I was just telling them how you didn't want to clean up and pick up things that weren't your mess. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Do you think it's fair if I don't cook for you anymore because I'm not going to be eating the food I cook?
I know how to cook, so sure.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Sure. They got it figured out. But they still can't figure out how to scrape their own plates.
Nope.
Rinse them off. So, yeah, that's exactly it, Audrey. It ain't my mess, but why am I the one cleaning it every day? So, well, you're the dad. That's what you do. You clean up after us so we can make messes. And I said, you know what? There's a basic fundamental principle I have. Philosophy, maybe. If you don't make a mess, you don't have a mess to clean up later. Don't make a mess. You don't have to clean up a mess. So like when I cook and I clean as I go. So I don't have a mess to clean up. Or nobody has to come along behind me and clean up my mess. And I tell my kids over and over again, if you kind of clean up as you go, you won't have to have a job at the end or the next morning. Get it done as you go. You're not going to have to worry about it. That's why we got the spray thing of soap. You got a plate. You just had a sandwich on that plate. Nothing on that plate but a couple of breadcrumbs. Go rinse it, spray it, wash it. I said, even use your hand. I even demonstrated. See? There, it's clean. Rinse it, dry it with this clean towel, put it in the cupboard. I said, guess what? That whole process takes you about a minute. I said, unless you leave food on it and it's got to be scraped off by somebody else, and I got to scrub your plates. So, boom, there it is. Hey, Carly. Good morning. Hey, Roger. Moon him, Steph. Give him something to remember. Bam. I'm all for that. Sitting here amazed. I just put my groceries in the car, watched all the people glare at me because I do not have my mask on outside at my car in the parking lot. Well, yeah, because breathing air outside is going to get somebody else contagious. So, is contagious a word? So I think Rainey's getting up sometime soon. I made her coffee, so she's got decaf brewing. I wanted her to walk out there and have the sinks are clean, the dishes are going in the dishwasher, the counter's wiped off, and I've got a little sign. It says, I drew up Rainey's Brew, and it's a little, folded tent type of sign, about that big. And I take that, and after I make my coffee, I'll take the remainder of my coffee, put it in a carafe, and then I will brew her coffee, which is, it's decaf. And so I just put up there Rainey's Brew, and I set that on top of the coffee maker. So she can get up when I'm in here, and she walks out there and find, oh, that's my coffee. So she'll, as soon as she finds her coffee, she'll be in here once she's up. Hey, Sean. Good to see you, Sean Bowden. There's my beauty.
Yeah, you done complaining?
No.
Well, then I'm going out.
Well, come and join the complaint.
I don't want to be part of the negativity this morning.
There's no negativity here.
Rowan woke up in a good mood, and you sent her upstairs crying.
Crying?
She was upset. You were like bitchy. You haven't cleaned the kitchen in
Look
like
at that.
2 days. Hasn't cleaned the kitchen in 2 days.
Nice jammies.
And he's all crab ass complaining at the sink about nobody knows.
See, what did I tell you? I didn't clean the kitchen for 2 days.
He was yelling. You could hear all the way upstairs. He was just nagging.
You know why I was yelling? My yelling was the tone of voice you hear right here.
Yeah, annoying.
I'm saying, don't complain to me that it's not your mess. Clean it up.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm out. I'm not up for listening to him bitch anymore this morning.
So come on over here in your. No. You got a tail and everything. Hey, Catwoman, says Teresa.
Hey.
So come on over and talk.
Are you done bitching though? You done with the crabby?
I'm not crabby.
You were crabby. You started nagging. I could hear it this morning. You didn't.
I was fine until my young daughter started yelling at me that she had to pick up a piece of paper that wasn't hers.
She wasn't yelling. She just said it wasn't mine, and then you started yelling. I heard the whole damn thing.
Oh, good. I was there. I was firsthand.
I know. I was firsthand too from the second floor.
And I said, I don't give a rat's bahookie if you.
I know, but you didn't have to be such a negative Nancy this morning. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Tell them about it.
Yeah. Just naggy Nancy.
Yep.
Negative Nelly.
It's a nice little leopard print you've got going there.
Yeah. I'm sexy and I know it.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Mama protecting the nest. Protecting what? Protecting
my kids from your crabby ass.
who don't do
Okay, done with chores.
Told.
I'm done with chores and done with kids, or I'm walking away.
Or I'm walking.
I woke up in a good mood and then I had to listen to you nagging. Dude, I had some weird ass.
What'd you dream?
I dreamt that my belly button was infected.
Yeah, I have a ringmaster outfit.
No,
you dreamt that your belly button was infected?
Yes. How weird is that?
That's very weird.
Yep. And when I squeezed it, you couldn't feel any hard or icky, but just pus, gobs and gobs of pus in my belly button.
Is that why you took out your belly ring?
No, it's in there.
The other day? Oh, I thought it was out. I thought I saw it laying on the.
That one
okay.
made my belly button.
Let's see it.
No.
What you got on under that?
Not much.
Oh. Well.
And then I dreamt. Oh, what did I dream?
What'd you dream?
What?
Rowan took the last cupcake.
There you go. Rowan took the last cupcake.
Go eat one of the brown cupcakes.
Oh, she took.
No, that's chocolate.
That was the cupcake you didn't want because Cora put her germs on it.
No, not the white one. She took the last chocolate one and she said we both get 2.
2 chocolates?
Yeah, but Rowan got 3.
Because she got the white one too.
Things get kind of confusing when you got people all over the place. You kids. Oh. I'll wait here for you. I'll go back to my negative Nellying. So that's my little one who is like, she got 3 and I only got 2 cupcakes. This is between 2 days. So, You aren't supposed to wear anything under onesies. That's right. That's Carly said that to you.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. That's why
You're
I'm
not supposed to.
unzipping my onesie.
That's a phenomenal look.
Totally. It's a ghost.
Has to be the dog. Dog or the cat.
My mom walked away.
See, oh my God. I'm single, says Teresa. It's peaceful here in the mornings.
Oh, can I stay with you for a couple days?
Yeah, really. I just close it all the way, or some other animal's going to push it open. Hey, Mary Wins. Good to see you. Dustin Brill. We could have him. We could have a cage fight.
Yeah.
Dustin says. That is a good look. I like it. So, how's everybody else? How do you deal with those things at home? Your kids that you.
I don't want to talk about kids.
Oh, what do you want to talk about then?
If you're going to talk about kids, I'm out. I'm done with kids today.
No, you got an obligation to be here.
I don't want to talk about kids.
If we're out, we're all out.
Okay, I'm not talking about kids. We're not talking about kids.
Okay, talk about
today.
something else then.
Yeah.
Get your something else up here. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you need?
As the kids interrupt us.
Here's the cupcake.
There's the cupcakes.
Ooh.
Are those both yours?
Yeah.
Well, look at that. You got two. Nice. Hey.
Are those clean or dirty?
Did you come over here? Clean.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you.
Mom.
Bye. Awesome cupcakes. Close that door. Thank you. I love you, Mom.
Yeah, they love me.
Until Mom yells at them.
They still love me. There's a hole in that air mattress about that big, so it's got to continually run to. Oh,
Nice.
My scalp is so dry.
Well, you know what the kids do? They blow up. When the friend came over, they blew up the big queen-sized air mattress, about 1.5 feet thick.
Mm-hmm.
And then they found out they can go from the sofa and dive on it. Boom! And they have the other person flies in the air. So they were doing that all afternoon yesterday. No wonder there's a hole that big in it.
I spent the day in the office and said, "Don't come crying to me."
And she was Crabby Nelly yesterday. Crabby Nelly doesn't work. Crabby Kathy.
I wasn't crabby yesterday. It was the day before when it was like midnight and you had been in here all day talking politics on your Facebook with rejects who don't give no shits about nothing. Yep.
No, that was the day I took off, which was yesterday.
You took off Friday too.
That. I did?
Yeah.
I thought I finished a guy's logo on Friday.
I don't know. When I came home from work, you were.
I don't remember
on
nothing.
The couch, and you didn't clean the kitchen like you told me you would.
Nope.
I was cleaning. See, Friday morning.
I didn't clean the kitchen.
I was cleaning Friday morning.
Mom said her cupcakes look way better than mine.
Get out. Get out.
Now show that beautiful face. Show the frosting on your lips. So what's the problem? What did Rowan do?
She said her cupcakes were way better than mine.
Tell her that her cupcakes look like somebody crapped on them.
See the smile? There you go. There you go. Thanks, Mom. Mom advice. Well, tell your sister hers look like shit. Bring me a beer. I've nipped it with the zipper, but not full blown sometimes about Mary's style.
God, no.
Okay, let's see what else is going on. Disney World Booby Crusher.
Again, I'm going to smash yours. So go out and be happy.
I got my boobs smashed in a safety bar on the amusement park ride once.
Audrey says bubbles.
Ow. Audrey said what?
Bubbles. You don't say bubbles anymore, do you?
Oh, yeah. She does still.
Poo-poo!
Oh, yeah. She's graduated from bubbles to poo-poo.
Okay, poo-poo out.
I hope that this Sunday morning show is as efficacious for you as it is for us. So she'll be back in 2 minutes. So if you don't miss her too bad.
Let's talk about dreams. Who had dreams last night?
What kind of dreams did you guys have last night? Anybody remember their dreams? I had dreams last night. I remember them. Raini had a pussy infected belly button.
I had more dreams.
In
than
her
that. It
dream.
wasn't
What else did
pussy
you
and
dream?
infected. All I did was squeeze it and like a pile of pus came out, but it wasn't.
Nice. You've been
wasn't-
watching too much Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, Dr. Pimple Popper. It didn't hurt and it wasn't infected though. I just squeezed it.
I do
It's like,
too,
hey.
Sean Bowden.
My other dream, I was in a car of people. I'm not quite sure who they were, but I knew who they were. And we went to a parade. And we watched a parade.
Cool.
Then we were in like a hotel type weird area. And a bunch of famous people came in and were like, hey, Raini. I was like, hey.
Famous people? Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
And then I remember pulling stuff out of my throat, but I don't know what it was.
Wow. So you had lots of dreams about pulling things out of your navel, your mouth, your.
Yeah. And the mouth dreams I've had for a long time. So I feel like when I'm in my dreams, I can't say anything and I can't talk and I'm just pulling. And I don't know what I'm pulling. Sometimes it's like long strands of stuff. And I can pull and it feels like I'm getting somewhere and pulling and it's almost out, whatever it is I'm pulling. And I can't breathe while I'm pulling. But I've learned as I've started to dream that I have to relax and stay calm in my dream. So I've been to the point where I can stay calm and I'm pulling and pulling and pulling. But now when I'm pulling, it ends up getting like, I don't want to say bloody because it's not quite bloody, but it's a bloody and it's stuck. And as I'm pulling, it's stuck like in the back of my throat and it's pulling the skin off the roof of my mouth and pulling the skin out of my throat. It's weird.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Roger Rabbit, was it? No, Scott Allen dreamt that he had a meeting with the Lone Ranger last night. Was it the Clayton Moore Lone Ranger? Or was it somebody else? Was it a nondescript Lone Ranger? Was it Clayton Moore from the 60s? 50s and the 60s, I think they did that show.
I figured when you said you licked it, it was with your tongue.
Mary Wynn said, something is stuck, she said.
And it's been years because I've had this dream probably for the last 10 years.
Of something stuck in your throat?
Yeah.
Nice. Hi, dog. Stepping on the dog. I didn't even know the dog was there.
Smaller, like before it was like noodles. Think like ramen noodles. Pulling noodles.
It's ramen noodles. Now it's tree branches.
No, it's tree branches. No, now it's like whatever it is, it's giant. It's one thick whole piece instead of little.
What, it was like that?
I used to be able to I remember in my dreams, I used to be able to break it and swallow it back down so that I could breathe again.
Okay.
And now I'm not to the point where I can break it off and breathe anymore. I woke up before I could break it off and breathe.
Wow. Interesting. So, can't breathe. Got something, you wake up before you're able to eradicate it.
Mm-hmm.
No dog unplugging today. Yeah, she's laying right down there by the power strip again, too. Well, she's not sniffing for food this morning. Hey, Morgan. Hey, Lewis. So what do you think? Dream? Mary is probably the first one to probably hit on something. Something stuck and you can't get it on. You can't undo it. So do you feel stuck? Like something stuck and you can't undo it?
I don't know. Yeah, my whole life is stuck.
Stuck as a parent. Yeah.
Stuck as a parent.
Stuck as a wife.
Stuck as a wife.
Yeah. You want to go out and sow your wild oats?
Stuck in a crappy kind of job. Since my one.
Your job is great. It's the guy you work for and one part
Water
of your
Street,
job.
Water Street is great. I love when Water Street's going, but Water Street's not going. But
yeah.
When Water Street's going, then they're both going, and neither one are going. But
yeah.
I feel stuck, and I feel kind of like he schedules me with his friends all the time who don't show up, and it drives me nuts that I waste my time driving in. It makes me feel like maybe he's doing it to piss me off so that I eventually quit.
Yeah.
Which, I don't mind going in and sitting talking with girls. With the ladies at the spa. Now that I know I can get a $29 massage, I ain't ever quitting.
You have a dream of taking something out of your mouth or even having the pulling sensation. It means that you have a feeling that you might say something wrong. To pull material from your mouth could mean you feel guilty, but you need to shut your mouth as others will use your own information. What does it mean? Dream interpretation. Stuffed mouth. Stuffed mouth.
That's a great picture.
A kid with French fries coming out of his mouth. A lot of people dream about having a mouth full of food or chewing gum or something else that makes it absolutely impossible to talk. They may even experience feeling suffocating, which you felt. The following is a walkthrough of the mouth is a very important organ. It's the place where we consume food, dispose of food if it's not good for us, vomit. Dreaming about food is often now you didn't say it was food, although you had noodles earlier on.
Well, no, to compare it so you could visualize with me what I was pulling. It was like ramen noodles, but not
like ramen noodles or
It wasn't
tapeworms
food. It
or
wasn't
something.
food
Yeah.
coming out.
Maybe it was tapeworms.
Gross.
So the mouth can therefore be a symbol of how we consume and digest external experiences. For example, an emotional one. To keep pulling something out of your mouth, gum, food, or something else, as an image of something that's somewhat uncomfortable, which we should dispose or get rid of, or that we currently try to get rid of. You might dream that your mouth is full of a gum-like substance that you're constantly trying to pull the gum out of your mouth, but keep being something left, and it's as if there's no point to trying to pull it out. This could symbolize that you've swallowed or experienced something unpleasant in your life that you're unconsciously trying to dispose of in your dream. However, because you're not actively doing something about it in your actual life, your subconscious will be filled up by gum. That is the experience or the thoughts that you're ignoring. You might even find that the thoughts or experiences you have swallowed. Here, hold on. I'm going to do this so we can see that as we go here. Let's see. Hang on, guys. Just adjusting something on the screen. Where was I? Right here. Okay. Here we go. This could symbolize if you swallowed or experienced something unpleasant in your life. You've turned as something that is suffocating you because you're not getting rid of it. Talking to someone about it. They have i.e. talking to someone about it. The element that suffocates you could also be potential lies you've been fed as a child, and these can be difficult to get rid of. Maybe the dream thus invites you to look at the truths you have in your life, your beliefs, and where they come from. Again, the dream might say, you need to deal with this. Perhaps you need to talk to somebody about it. You can also see dreams of strangulation and suffocation. Were you suffocating or strangulating?
In the beginning, suffocating, but I've learned to calm myself in the dreams to know that I'm not dying in my dreams. So I've learned that I don't have to breathe.
Okay.
So I'm comfortable. I don't feel like I'm suffocating anymore.
A full or a blocked mouth is a symbol of not being heard. You can also dream that your mouth is in some way blocked and that you're therefore prevented from speaking. For example, with duct tape or something. Oh, duct tape. We don't want to get into that, do we? It might simply be a symbol of a general feeling of not being heard or seen. Or maybe you have a hard time saying no in certain situations. What kind of mental duct tape have you put on your mouth? Is it you or someone else who's put it there? You're the only one who can remove it. And a final alternative interpretation is that your subconscious is trying to tell you that you've said enough and you need to shut up. That's the other side of that.
That's not what it says.
That's not it.
It didn't say that on there, though. You just added
Yeah,
that.
it is. I used shut up instead of be quiet. That you need to be quiet. I said you need to shut up.
Nice.
So and then it's got people's experiences and all of that. Let's see. I am curious.
I would think it's not a shut up dream since I'm trying to get whatever out of my mouth so I can breathe and
dreaming about trying to pull something out of your mouth. There, that was pretty much it, I think. So, how do you feel about that interpretation?
I don't know. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Raini's not a talker. When we try to dig for, Raini can yell with the best of them. She can tell us all what to do. She can tell me what to do. She can tell me what my problems are and identify them, isolate them, tell me how to fix them. But when we come anywhere close to isolating something that's going on in her head, yeah, okay, well, maybe. I don't know. So
I've learned not to talk about myself and my stuff because it only gets me in trouble.
Why does it get you in trouble?
Because it's always used against me.
Oh. So,
And I don't want to go to no court, no judge. I want to go to prison.
for what?
Nothing.
Prison for what? You don't want to. What are you
I
bringing
didn't
up?
say
Judge and going to prison? What are you talking
Uh-uh.
about?
Why? It can be used against you in a court of law. That's what came to my brain.
Oh.
What is
Got
that?
it.
What is that? It's not CSI.
So,
Whatever that one is. Law and Order.
Law and Order. So, no, not Rainy, not shut up. She had received a message, I'm sure. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that was the one alternative, Teresa, at the very end. Well, the possible alternative can mean you've said too much and you need to shut up. I don't think that's what that was. So, yeah, she's got stuff going on. She got stuff. She's covering something up and can't uncover it. There's guilt. There's stuff from childhood. There's stuff she feels she's stuck in. I know right now, without condemning you for anything or anything like that, she'd love to not have kids 24/7 hanging off of her. And trying to keep that from not happening. Does that make you feel stuck? Yeah. Is the whole COVID bullshit that's affecting both our businesses, does that make you feel stuck? Yeah. Stuck at home, stuck with kids that our kids, we generally murmur during the day to each other, I hate children. Because we're tired of the way they act sometimes. We're tired of being around them all the time. My kids, for some reason,
Constantly nag and fight.
And it's like, guys. And when we're trying to do stuff in here in our offices to get work done, she's doing something, working on financial stuff. I'm working on work stuff. The kids will come in here constantly.
Well, the journal, it's like the Egypt journal.
Making the Egypt journal.
I got everything all together for it, but I've been interrupted so many times and needed to get up to go do stuff so many times for kids. I don't know where half the stuff is to even finish putting it together anymore. I don't know where it's gotten set.
And I get up and do that when she's doing stuff. I try to get up and help, and Rainey's like, no, I'm already interrupted. I'm going to go take care of it because I know where it is and I can get it done 10 times faster than you can. Yep. But it's constant. It's all day.
Yeah, because if I don't get up, half the times it's, hey, Raini, Scotty, hey, Raini. Do you know? Yeah. Hold on.
What? Looking for stuff?
Looking for stuff. You usually end up, probably half the time, I still end up having to get up.
Half the time I ask Raini, I'm like, hey, Raini, you know that thing? Did you put that anywhere before I go tearing through 10 different locations to try to find it? That's the way our house is.
My favorite is with the fridge when you're like, where's the jelly?
Like, where's the jelly?
It's on the third
So I just put a thing of jelly in here.
No, it's not. And then I get up and it's right fucking where I said it was.
See, I am a person, I'm not a perfectionist by any long shot. But I'm a person where you put something here and you put something here. So next time you go for it and reach for it almost subconsciously, or after 2 months of it being in one place, you go, where's the thing? Anybody move the thing? And then you start looking and you're irritated because the thing has been moved.
Well, that, and we have a refrigerator. It's a small refrigerator, and the fridge part's on the bottom, and it's hard for Scotty to get to the bottom shelf.
That's not hard. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to get down on my hands and knees and reach all the way up to my shoulder to the back of the fridge to find something that was on the second shelf in the front for a month. It's like, what's it doing on the bottom shelf, way in the back, buried in vegetables and leftover bins and all of this stuff? How did it get back there? Who put it back there? That stuff irritates the shit out of me.
When you haven't gone for it for 2 months, it finally gets shoved in the back to make room for the new.
Well, I have jelly more than every 2 months.
Not always.
Not always. So I ask Raini. She's the one who kind of governs where things are supposed to be. Okay, before I tear into the pantry, can you tell me, do you know where the thing is that I saw on this shelf right here? Do you know what happened to that? Did you use it before? And it's not that I can't look for it myself. It's that, did you move it? Did you make a new place for it? So I know where to look before I go waste 20 minutes looking for something. That's a pet peeve of Kenny's too. Hey, Kenny, how you doing?
Someday when we can get back to work and start saving.
We'll have a
again,
big fridge.
and we build our place, we'll have a big fridge. A walk-in fridge.
And this
so we
one
can
isn't
put the dead
tiny.
bodies in
It's
there.
just, I want a walk-in fridge.
Yeah.
So let's see. Being a referee sucks. Who's being a referee?
I'm the referee.
I missed something earlier. You are.
Yeah.
Between who and who?
You and the refrigerator. Duh.
Oh, duh. Personal item I didn't want the children to know. If I said that, says Steph, if I said that thing would mean it would be a personal item that I didn't want the children to know. But I would be lost if she ain't cutting up, said Lewis. Don't either of you have relatives around you where you can pawn your kids off for a while?
Kinda. My mom, but she gets busy.
Her mom is 45 minutes that way. So if we want to go to a movie, we want mom. If mom doesn't drive out here.
If we don't want to spend $60 on a sitter for the day.
we weren't talking about that on air yesterday, were we?
Your mom.
Oh, we were talking with my mom. We've got like the neighbor teenager. She wants $10 an hour.
Which she's the cheapest one. The other people where we lived on a different street, they had kids, and I really liked their family. It was Jen. Remember Jen?
Jen, kinda.
Jen and her husband, and then they're like 5 or 6 kids they homeschooled.
Yep.
So I asked her one day about her kids and babysitting. She's like, it's $12 an hour, and then $250 per kid after. I was like, holy crap!
She charges.
That's almost $20 an hour.
Daycare rates is what she's charging.
Yeah, and I just wanted babysitter.
So if you left your kids for a whole day, can you watch my kid for the day? Because I got a big meeting and I got to be gone for 6 hours. 6 times 12 is what? $72. $72 to watch my kid to babysit my kid for a day. We went out. The neighbor wanted $10. We were out at Rocky's. We went to Rocky and Lisa's house.
Yeah, when Michelle were there.
And it was what? We were there for like 7 hours. Mm-hmm. And you go, 7 hours? How could it go to? Well, if we left around 2 in the afternoon and got home around 9, we didn't even stay for the late party. We went 2 to 7 or 2 to 9. 7 hours we're gone. And we're gone for the afternoon and the early evening. You get home, babysitter needs $70. So we had to pay $70 to have a sitter to watch our kids. And she's right next door. All she has to do, we said, let the kids watch TV and play and stuff and just come and check on them. You're 10 feet away. Well, 30 feet away. So, and it still costs us $70. Lewis said, I babysat for a pack of smokes. Yeah. Now, I'm thinking a long time ago, we were talking to my mom yesterday about this. And when my twin daughters, now granted, they're 29 years old. But when they were 4 and 5, and we used the neighbor teenage girl, high school girl, to watch them. That's, you're talking 24, 25 years ago. Doesn't seem that long ago in my memory. It's just when my kids were little, we'd pay her $5 to $8 for the evening. Now, it's $5 to $8 per kid per hour. I mean, it's ridiculous. Everybody's money hungry, and everybody needs to make a buck. Like, I need to babysit and get paid as if, I'm minimum wage, so I deserve $15 an hour. It's like, shut up. You're babysitting. You're a neighbor kid. You want that much money? Go get a career at 15. So.
When can Emily babysit us again?
I don't know.
We don't know. We're just talking about babysitting.
No.
Nope. You got $70? You got $70?
I got $5,000, I think.
You got $5,000?
I think.
Bring it to me. Bring it to me.
She's got $80.
I have a 50.
You do. She's got $80.
$80.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I know
rich.
kids here either. Says Scott Allen. See, what are some of the people saying? I'm afraid of walking myself in a walk-in fridge, says Kenny. Carly says, his moms, we just memorize where everything is. It's like Roseanne Barr said many years ago, her uterus is a tracking device. That's why I hail to my wife. Now, if I was in charge of everything around where things go and keeping it clean and kids followed my rules, I'd know where everything is. But kids don't follow my rules. They don't even scrape their plates.
You don't even put the same stuff back where it belongs.
Like what?
You don't follow your own rules.
Like what? Like what?
Well, you shove the croutons up in the cupboard versus putting them
I
back
put
in
them up in the
pantry.
cupboard because they kept getting misplaced in the
Well, they don't
pantry.
belong in
So
the
I finally
cupboard, they
put them
belong in
up
the
on the
pantry.
top shelf in the one pantry cupboard we have.
And they fell out and fell on the floor, and I didn't pick them up because they're not mine, and I didn't care.
They weren't mine, so I
put-
didn't pick them up.
They weren't put back in the right
It's
spot.
not
I
mine.
found $5 on the floor.
See, my wife is
and I
vindictive.
also couldn't get my
So.
wallet open.
Whoa, is that your $1,500?
Good.
Here, let's see. $5,000.
That's not my 50. I have more.
Oh, you got more? Is this all her wallet?
This is her wallet.
This is my 5-year-old's wallet.
Here, wait. Let's put this in the right
Here,
spot.
put that in
'cause
the
she
right
likes-
spot.
She likes all her money organized.
Okay.
That's where her fives
She
go,
likes
and
all her money
tens.
organized. This is my my 6-year-old's wallet. Okay, gentlemen, take a look. Ladies, there's a 50. These are all ones, pretty much. On this side, we have the $10 slot and the $5 slot up there. That is my 6-year-old's wallet. There's got to be
She's gonna have to start paying bills too.
there's got to be
No,
close.
I'm not.
There's close to $80 in
I'm
there.
saving up for
Yeah.
150 toys.
Hang on. See this pair of pants? That is yesterday's pants. So my wallet is in the pocket. I want to show you guys something. To compare to my daughter, see, I see that on my in my daughter's wallet, and I go, "What am I doing wrong?"
You're not doing your chores.
Yeah, no, I'm doing everybody else's. Okay, here's my wallet. There's my wallet. Okay, now I have cards and she doesn't. But look at
I
that.
have a card.
Woo! Nothing. Oh, wait. I do have a cash zipper wallet in here. On the back side. Poocha!
Nothing.
Nothing. That's like Clint Eastwood, you know, the man with no name walking through the desert and you hear that. Woo! That's my wallet. So there you go.
See, the difference with, well, I should say kids. All three of the kids, I don't think Flynn has any cash saved. 'Cause he's got to go out and
No.
spend.
He gets cash and
Rowan-
he's got to go out. He's like, I got money. Can we go buy my thing now?
Rowan has to go out and spend once in a while, but she's out. And Ellie will wait and wait. And
This one will wait.
And wait and wait.
Yep.
She's been saving this money for, I think, the last 2 years.
What? 2 years?
Well, she's had little bits here and there where we go, when we go out garage
You're
sailing,
funny.
I'll take some of their money out and be like, okay, you got $4 to garage sale with.
I'm hiding my wallet from you.
Okay, go hide it then.
Go hide it then. Don't let anybody know where that is.
So she'll spend little bits.
Pretty
here and
much,
there.
Beth.
But otherwise, she doesn't really spend it. Now
Yeah.
she's saving. She wanted to get the LOL camper. Is that what you were saving for? Ellie,
What are you saving your money to get?
what are you saving your money for?
154 toys.
154 toys. Okay.
There's comprehension of numbers. So, yeah. So I don't know how we got on that, but there you go. That's messed up. So, little reverse psychology, Roger. What did I miss? Nice. Looks like someone is willing to pay for an 8-hour night with that $80. Offer the kids a parent-free night if they pay.
Yeah.
There you go. You can have a parent-free night.
Ellie would do
If
it
you
too.
pay for
'cause
the-
she loves
Oh.
Emily.
Emily, the babysitter. Sure, here's my money. Bring her over. So, yeah, she could pay for a night out. I wouldn't do that to my kids. So, Flynn is actually really the age where we can leave the two younger ones with him if we go shopping or something. We go to the grocery store.
When he's got to have a phone and we can maybe go
Yeah.
an hour.
Yeah, when he's got a phone and we're gone for an hour or so, we can leave an 11-year-old boy watching his kids. At least he's legally able to do that. Legal. And whether he's attentive enough, that's another question. So I'm digging the leopard print.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's getting choky though.
Here, open that up a little.
No.
Well, to let the air flow.
Fine.
If you're feeling choky.
It's touching my neck choky.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say, look at that. Oh.
So, anyway, there you go. So, dreams. That was Raini's dream. We're back to that. Suffocating. Let's see.
For me in the neck, that's suffocating stuff. That's all the
the
thyroid and the extra nodules in there.
The reason my wallet is empty is the wife. Yeah. Well, my wife contributes just as much as I do, sometimes more. So I'm not worried about that part. For me, anyway. Right now, when work is low, and my wife has 2 massages a week, or this week, didn't you have like 4 and one was a no-show or something like that?
No, I had 3 this week and one was a no-show. I went to work
3 and
twice.
one was a no-show. And the problem was, this is for the guy, the cheap dude who only pays her $20 per massage.
My last paycheck for 2 weeks, $41.
Ooh, don't spend it all in one place.
But I think that's completely wrong, only because that's a lot of not working.
Thank you, Lewis.
I've had work in there. So at some point, I got to go find my phone and find my schedule.
Yeah, and that's the guy who pays her a fraction of what she's worth. When she does her own stuff at the Water Street Inn, when it's open,
well, they're open
because they're open. They haven't been booking anything. So we got to get back on them to get you booked now that and the governor's supposed to be opening it up a little bit in the state of Minnesota now again. That's across the river in Minnesota. So I did not make this, Lewis. This one's not mine. This is store-bought Star Wars. So Morgan just saw a moth flying out of me. Really? You mean like a paranormally moth thing? Something like that? Is that what you mean, Morgan? So that'd be interesting. Let me know. Yeah, Beth, it's looking dusty, all right. And your mom and daddy some money. Lend your mom and daddy some money, Lewis says. Yeah, that's about it some days. But yeah, so how are you all doing in the financial sector of life? Has your job been impacted? Do the shutdowns all over, are they affecting your income flow, your revenue stream? It's all trickled down. I mean, my being an artist isn't very affected by COVID. What's affected are the people who are starting businesses or needing new design work or expanding. I just got a website to develop the other day. And so that was nice. But he doesn't have a lot of money. So I do it for him, and I say, okay, I'll do this, this, and this. So you take what would be a job that you'd get normally a couple thousand off of, and you're doing it for less than 100 or less than 1,000, because that's what somebody needs. And you say, I can either take this job and make the money off of it when things are a little tight, or I let it go. So that's the way these things work. I look at illustrating books. I haven't had a book to illustrate for months. But the last one I did was, she paid all right, I think. But you're usually getting a fraction of what you would normally make. There's a lot of people out there. There's these sites on Facebook. I go to these groups, children's illustrating book groups. And there are authors that come in and say, I need 15 pages of full color illustrations plus a cover, and I've got a budget of about $200. It's like, excuse me? Are you aware that you're asking professionals to...
For $200, I'll do what I can in one day, and then you're done.
$200, you're going to get stick figures.
Yeah.
And
no, you're not.
Not even that.
Someone's going to do it, whether they're from a foreign
Yeah.
country or not might be
And usually
different.
what you get are these Fiverr people or people from Singapore will go, I do that for less than half that. And it's like, okay, because they need American dollars over there. They get 50 American dollars and they'll do it all, and they'll spend days and days and days and days. Or what many people find when they use those people, it comes back and they've copied things from art they find online and sort of digitally messed with them a little bit. Sometimes it's just like I saw one where they used Simba, Disney's Simba, but it's over there in Singapore. And so they use Simba for a lion cub in somebody's book, and somebody showed that and go, this is what I got. And, well, yeah, you paid $15 a piece for those. That's why. Roger says, I'm surprised about not getting many book illustrations or covers lately. Feel like COVID lockdown would have inspired lots. Yeah, one of the problems is that on all these sites or with publishers or with everybody, you're looking at 500 people trying to get that work. And so what about my work stands out? It has to be usually somebody I've done work with before. My publisher, my agent, they also are part of a publishing company. They'll use me to do covers all the time. And I've got a couple of clients like that, but usually the publishing houses that need to hire an illustrator, they've got 500 people in their files. You've got to stand out and you've got to push. You've got to find usually independent authors that want a book illustrated, and then they present it for publishing, that kind of thing. So when I get those jobs, so it'd be nice to be doing 10 books a year, but that doesn't always happen. Yeah, Kenny is doing side jobs, but few and far between. Yep. Blessed enough to be making ends meet still. I don't seek riches, just provide a comfortable home for my wife and kids. Yeah, Matt, that's the thing. I would love to be making riches. Sometimes we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
I would like to get to a point where we can start to save for retirement.
What's retirement? Oh, yeah, that thing that starts a little bit after 60, right?
It's something hopefully we're going to get to do, but
I don't care about retiring. I care about having enough in here to make everything meet.
Keep the roof over the head. Yeah.
So this is why I'm going to Louisiana at the end of the month to hopefully, bring a bunch in so we can put that toward our house. So anyway, that's finances. We're all hit financial stuff. How's everybody doing financially was the question. Are you making it? Are things you getting by? Apparently, under the new Biden administration, you're going to get another $2,000 check pretty soon.
Yay, free money from Biden.
Free money from Joe Biden. I call it bread and circuses money, but there you go. No, actually, I do believe that our taxpayer dollars, if there's a way to help people that need it, get it to them. The $600 stab in the back last couple of weeks, yeah, we got ours in.
Oh, I should say, because there's more people listening here too.
Yeah.
So my uncle doesn't file taxes because he's low income and no income because he's been sick, but he's not on disability. If anybody knows how he's supposed to go about getting his $600, if you want to contact me and help me out, he asked me to help him out, but I can't seem to figure it out.
Yeah, and I can't find any clear answers. I put a search criterion. I go round and round and round and round.
I was really
You
frustrated.
go, oh, here's your answer. Click
so
here, and you
Scotty
click
got
there.
on
It takes
it.
you back to the beginning.
Yeah, and he found out how frustrating it really is because it's circle after circle.
Morgan Snow says, I just heard that my daughter's very interested in Raini's journals.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Send her over.
Check them out. I'm trying to work on more.
She's got a bunch of them over there in the works.
Yeah.
And we've shown you the one with the Egyptian sand on it. That's still, the guts are not all in that yet. Because she got several in several stages of being finished. Where's that little green one you showed me yesterday?
Yesterday.
Is this one done? No, not yet.
Almost.
It's got blue tape on it because she was painting after she put it together. But there's one of the little green ones that she did.
Not all of them are.
And she hasn't got the facing pages done.
Not all of them are hand bound because I don't like to do pages for all of them.
So that's the little one. And so here, see, this is how she has to lay things out.
This is
That.
how they kind of start. Like
Start like
this.
that.
Woo.
There it is.
And
And she
then-
puts all the cover art on
Yep,
them.
then we get marks so everything's kind of straight
Ooh,
and where
that's
it's supposed to be.
Now this one isn't painted yet, but there's a raw one with the Triskelion in it, and that's got to be painted up yet and stuff, all of that.
And this one's not covered yet.
Ooh.
But
Yeah, that one's not finished, but there's your spiral on that one.
yeah.
And so she's got stuff to do on that, obviously.
I really need my kids to go away for like 3 days.
Yeah,
3
that's
days.
what I need.
3 days where there's no one going, Ma! And then I could probably crack out all these and have them done. But seriously, it's draining. When
Matt
every
Finn, that's very
5
cool. I
minutes it's a
appreciate
kid.
that. I'll do anything you need. Of course, somebody in my position, it's the repeat customer that is the one that gets you going. The singular jobs help. I get lots of singular jobs along the way. Hey, will you develop a logo for me? Sure. Boom, logo done. Now, there's probably a million logos out there that need doing. If I had every logo that needed done right now, I'd be so overloaded I wouldn't be able to do the work. But it's getting, it's getting the word out there. It's getting people to know you're there. I've been doing what I've been doing for 40 years, and I still struggle with it. So, and it's not that I ain't good at what I do, but I appreciate that, man. If you need something, give me a shout. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do around here to make money.
And someday I'm going to have a farm.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do. I want a farm. I want berry patch, pumpkin patch.
That's why I'm going to Louisiana, because we've been looking, as I mentioned yesterday, we're looking into these shipping container homes and how you can do a lot of the finishing work on them. But we pick up a piece of land, you put up your shipping container home for a fraction of the cost of an equivalent house. And some of these shipping container homes are pretty, you can make them look pretty nice, but they're still cool. And there's things you can do with it. And I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, I'd like to have 8 containers where you put them in a big square, a container per floor. So 2 floors, maybe another one shooting off the side or expanding a room here. But then you got an atrium in the middle and you put a roof over that. And you've got that and balconies and stuff and whatever on the inside. So you got some cool stuff you can do with those. Mm-hmm. There's fun stuff to do. Yeah. And you can do it for a fraction. And land, you can get land pretty inexpensively. Could you bring back the One American shirt? Which one, Lewis? The one with the eagle on it? If it's not there, we just went through that whole page yesterday, and there's some things that just dropped off because it didn't sell.
Dropped off because it didn't sell, and we switched printers because we didn't like.
We watched that, Roger.
Coming out of some of the printers.
We saw Container Homes. It was a pretty cool show. There was only 5 episodes. We watched them. We binge watched them all. Yeah, Lewis, I saw that yesterday. Maybe it's not up in there. Yeah, I'll make sure it gets re-put up. And so look, we're not talking about this for any reason other than to say, how are you doing? How's everybody doing financially? We bring up our examples to say, this is how we experience what's going on. How is the COVID and the shutdowns affected us? We didn't have a restaurant or a business like that, but we have a business that thrives off of people. And when people aren't making money, people aren't using what we do. Yeah. And also, this is the time to think about, is this the time as we get out of this COVID stuff? Should I start looking at, I'd like to start an Irish pub?
Do you need to maybe go get a job at a gas station?
And I guess, you see, that's a frivolous kind of thing. You know why? Because I've tried to get jobs at gas stations over the years. Now and then, when I'm not making good money, nobody wants to hire me because I have a resume. Because I've been an executive in companies. And I'm like, look, I just need a job. I need to augment my income. Getting a job at a gas station? Yeah. I'll work, They don't want to hire you full time. So you don't get any benefits, first of all.
The gas station, you can go work at Quick Trip. They do all kinds of.
Okay, do Quick Trip. What's Quick Trip going to pay?
They pay like $14 an hour. More
14 an hour.
The second or third shift.
So let's say I get 32 hours a week. What's
Quick
14?
Quick Trip is actually one of the places you should work if you're going to go out and get a job because they're good to their employees. What?
Yeah.
Refill this.
Okay, let's say I get a full-time job at
yeah.
Quick Trip. 40 times 14 is what?
I'm going to stop you right
400,
there.
160, $560 a week times roughly 4 weeks. That's $2,250 a month gross, which you're going to take home
Shut the door.
16 of that maybe. So if I take home $1,600 a month,
Thank you.
I will tell you this: when I do a a children's book, I do usually 12 illustrations at $450 a piece. You do the math on that. If I do a logo, which takes me a day, I charge $600 for a logo. So 600 twice. Say I got 3 logos in a month, which take me 3 days. I can go work a Quick Trip every day of the week and make less money. So there's that. Now, when you're in need, you go out and you do it. But every time I've tried to apply, I've been turned down for the cute little high school chick that they want behind the cash register. Not some old guy. The last time I looked, it was probably about 5 years
You
ago.
would have got hired at Somerset.
At Somerset what?
Quick Trip.
Quick
Have you
Trip.
seen the people that work there? They're not cute little high school girls.
Oh, yeah, there are older
But
people
anyways,
there.
I'm going to stop you there because Lewis has
That's
some
the new
questions
one.
here. Lewis, Scotty does design the images for the shirts. And then
I do.
we use a drop ship printer. But we switch printers. And so some of our images haven't been transferred to the different printer we use now. So we just have to move stuff over. But all the designs are Scotty's.
Yep.
And then we use
I drove forklift for a while, Iowa X, when I was in college, paying my way through college. It was a short stint, though.
You drove a forklift?
I did.
Wow, I'm surprised.
You know about that?
No,
I've told stories of driving forklift.
I'm surprised you're artist. I'm surprised you were capable of doing that and not injuring anybody or knocking the warehouse over.
Well, I knocked the warehouse over. That's why they took me off forklift.
Nice.
So, no, I'll tell you the story. They were training me in on the forklift. And I was doing fine. It was for the Owatonna Canning Company, Festal Vegetables, stuff like that. Kind of loosely affiliated with Hormel down in southern Minnesota. And so the big back warehouse is filled with what looks like library rows of cans, empty cans of all sizes. And they're stacked on pallets. So big cubes, 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot, strapped with sections of cardboard separating rows of cans. And they'd stack those cubes 4 and 5 and 6 high and about 12 deep. And then they'd start a new row and do that again. Enough room in between to drive a forklift down, turn it sideways, go up and take something off of a row if you needed to. I had like 15 rows of these back there and stuff all over the place. And nobody's back in the back warehouses. It takes you like 10 minutes to walk back there. It's like you would start up in the factory where everybody's working. And by the time you got back to the back warehouse where nobody is, if you found anybody, they spoke a different language. I guess it's like I'm not in America anymore. So they're training me and I'm doing a pretty good job. And he goes, okay, let's see. You break for lunch in 20 minutes. Why don't you just unstack one of these stacks and restack it? And then break for lunch. Okay. Get your practice in. So I'm stacking my unstack them and stack them back up. And I thought, I got time to do this one more time just to practice how the forks work. And so I lean out and I look and I'm raising the forks. And what I didn't realize was the second stack up was a little off kilter and it was sticking out about 6 to 8 inches on this side, but then it was flush over here. And I'm looking over here and I'm raising the forks and the one fork on the right catches by an inch that one sitting there. And I'm raising and all of a sudden the top 4 on the stack cubes start tipping. And I'm like, oh shit. And I hit the thing and I drop the forks to the floor. And by the time they hit the floor, that whole thing, it had started to cave in on this side because of the weight. And it went, and it hit the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one down, and knocked all of these cubes of cans on the floor. And it stops, and I'm sitting there. The forklift is running, the engine. I shut it off, and it's deathly quiet. There's dust in the air. And I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm never coming back. And I thought, no, I can't do that. And so I walked all the way up front, I think with my hand on my forehead. And I found my manager, and I said, Jerry was his name. So Jerry, I remember what he looks like too. He had one of those hairstyles. We're talking the late 70s. So one of those hairstyles that looked like a bowl cut, only really long and full. And he had big, thick Coke bottle glasses and a big mustache.
Dumb and Dumber guy, kind of.
Kind of. And and he wore white lab coat was what they wore. I go, Jerry. I said, got a little problem in the back. And I said, I knocked over some cans. He goes, no big, everybody knocks over cans. He says, you need any help picking them up? I go, oh. I said, I've knocked over cans. And he said, oh, it can't be that bad. I said, it's bad. I said, I considered walking out. Oh, come on. He puts his arm around my shoulder. Come on, it can't be that bad. And we walk back. He goes, let's go take a look. And we walk back. It takes us almost 10 minutes to get back there. And he rounds the corner and he looks at the warehouse and he goes, oh, that is bad. And he says, I'm going to move you off forklift, okay? Just like that. I'm like, what? No, I go, I'm okay with that. And he says, but let's get these cans picked up. And it took 6 guys, 2 days, full time off of their other duties to reorganize all those cans that I tipped over. But one by one, every one of the forklift drivers, some of them have been there for 20 years plus. Remember this other guy? He looked like an old Marine Corps drill sergeant, and he's got the little snarled smile and probably usually put a cigar in there, but not during work. And he had a crew cut and a sleeveless shirt and, bulging muscles and tattoos. And he's got to be about 50. And he comes riding around. And all the forklift drivers, one by one, came by and with their forklifts and they'd salute me. So that was my experience as a forklift driver. So I was good until I knocked over. They estimated that I knocked over 42,000 cans.
Shit.
So anyway, there you go. Yeah, one of the managers who I knew, a friend of mine, he came by on his little cart, his golf cart, the white coat and his hat. And he pulls out a calculator. He didn't say anything to me. He just looked at me, smiling. He goes, he was my roommate in college, by the way. And he goes, this calculator looks up this and that. And he goes, oh, that's 42,000 cans. So I didn't lose my job, but they didn't have to keep me on forklift. So there you go.
Not surprised.
There you are.
Have a good day, Teresa.
Bye, Teresa. Let's see what else we got going on. Barry Chad, good to see you. Good morning. Yeah, we're only an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
Where you been, sleeping in or something? Hey, I'm gonna go get some warm coffee.
Yeah.
So I will let Miss Leopard here take over. You want to take the big seat?
You gotta make me move. I was all comfortable.
Well, I gotta get through
everything.
I only gotta get through. That's all. Just gotta get through.
You good? Can you make it?
Yeah, I can make it.
All right. Oh.
Maybe 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, right. It takes like 5 minutes.
Gotta get coffee.
Yeah, you take like 5 minutes.
Yeah, shut up.
Oh, he made me move. I gotta stretch now. Oh. Okay. I'm good. You didn't need to see my stretch face. Let's see. What did I see? I saw questions up there. Oh, it's not working. Morgan Snow, you say, are you taking requests? I can take requests if you'd like. It's really bright in here and hard for me to read today. Describing, let's see. Lewis, you're going to start making resin weapons. That'll be fun. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you do, how they turn out. I suppose I can move this over here so when I lean in, then you can see my face better. Beth, is there a way to prepay and pre-order journals? There is. You just gotta let me know. Let me know what you want. I was gonna say, if you want to message me on Etsy, you can message me on Etsy. Otherwise, you can send me an email at mamahathors@gmail.com.
Did you get your coffee warmed up?
No, it's in a metal cup. That would be bad. Are you sending that? Okay.
No, come around.
Let's see. My eyes are not working well today. And it's bright. It's shiny.
It's bright. Bright and shiny.
Shiny.
Shiny!
The dog stinks, by the way.
Yeah, what's with the dog?
I don't know.
What did she roll in?
The shits her ears
So-
again.
I don't know why we keep bringing her back to the vet for the same thing over and over again. So, all right.
Yeah.
So Matt Finn says, have a great day, Teresa. Blah, blah, blah. Where's the snacks?
Yeah, I want snacks.
Yeah,
I'm
really.
hungry.
I got your snacks right here. So China's condemning the arrest of pro-democracy activist in the United States. China's
China shouldn't have a say. In
China's got
nothing.
nothing to say about pro-democracy activists. So let's see. Yes, please visit her Etsy store. Just click the link and save for later. There you go. There's Raini's Etsy store. Outstanding.
Yeah. I was going to say, Beth had a question.
Mhm.
And she said, is there a way to... We already talked about this while you were gone.
Is there a way to prepay and pre-order your journals? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And then Morgan asked too, are you taking requests? I am.
Yeah.
Let me know. Let me
It's all
know.
up to her.
Let me know what you're thinking.
If you want to pre-order, I think Raini would just say send X amount to my PayPal, and she'll go ahead and take care of it. She's good for it.
So now's
So
the time to ask while I'm in the process of putting a bunch together. I'm tired.
you see, that's how we get. We get up in the morning and we're tired in an hour.
Well, it's
It's like,
they're
oh.
not moving. When I sit,
Yeah.
then my blood like pools and
Well, get up and move like you normally do. Move.
well, then I'm gonna be out there moving,
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, there's a fly in here. Ugh.
I get those every now and then. It's like mosquito. Why is it a mosquito in the middle of winter?
Our
In my
hibiscus
office.
trees have those.
Oh, the hibiscus tree out
have
there.
those little. They have little I don't know what they are. They're little wormies that develop into flies. And I'm supposed to carry the whole pot and put it in the shower and spray it with Dawn dish soap, is what my aunt said. Leave it
Yep.
for a half hour and then rinse it out really well, but it's in that big heavy pot. So if I do that, it's really heavy.
Yeah.
Or we can just spray it with chemicals and breathe in chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rocky Stucci is live right now, it looks like, too. Let's see what Rocky's saying.
Kind of what we're all trying to be up against. And
Yep, there he is. He's live.
Have been doing radio for about 7 years.
So if you want to go see Rocky, you can see him too. He's probably talking about politics, so you're going to get a little more meat over there than you get here this morning. So I'm not going into politics this morning. So looking forward for the next Christmas. So rush. So, or no rush, probably you meant.
You know,
So yeah, that's all we've got. We talked about kids, complaining about kids, Raini's dream about choking on things coming out of her mouth, pussy belly buttons,
that was
dreaming about that.
weird.
I had weird dreams. They had, now I got no problem saying this, had sexual content, but I wasn't doing it. It was observing something that was really odd. And I don't even remember what it was. I just remember waking up going, that was odd. So where's that coming from? Who knows? Because I don't even know, there wasn't even an intent in the dream. It was just there. It was a visual image. Matt says he's staying put. Hey, welcome, Matt. Yeah, we'll go for a little bit more here.
Thanks.
Hey, Rhonda. Good to see you. Good morning. And let's see what else we got going on. Hey, Joyce. Nice to see you too. What's Biden thinking? Joyce says Biden seems to think so. I'm not sure what that's about. China's condemning the arrest. Yeah, we saw that. I don't know. So,
Morgan Snow says, my nightmares are always about being lost.
Nightmares are about being lost. Oh.
You gotta get comfortable with being lost. Dad.
Yeah.
I learned to get comfortable with the dreams that repeat.
Yeah. Raini used to have dreams of fighting zombies when I first met her. Fighting off zombie armies, fighting zombies. There was a repeating dream. She'd wake up thrashing, and I'm like, hey, and swing at me, hit me with a pillow. Like, what are you dreaming? And she goes, oh, I was dreaming. I was fighting off zombies with a broomstick.
Killing zombies.
And this is 15 years ago. So anyway.
Yeah.
Not another orgy dream. Nah. Yeah, you see, it was kind of like that, but it was just weird. It was cluttered, and it looked cluttered and claustrophobic and dark, and it was like, what the hell? Wake up. And I told myself, get up. It's a stupid dream.
Yeah.
And so certain time people would turn into zombies if you were with them. That was Steph. She used to have a dream about zombies. What's the Great White North, Rhonda? How's the Great White North? Rhonda, where are you anyway if you're in the Great White North? I don't know that off the top of my head where you're from. Although I've seen your Facebook page. I know you do some cosplay. So that's kind of cool. Got anything cool coming up on that? I not R. LOL, says Steph. Used to have a dream. Oh, yeah. At a certain time, people would turn into zombies. So is that because we watch too much? There's too many zombie things lately. The Walking Dead for the last 8 years. You got Planet Z or whatever that is.
World War
Z, the Brad Pitt movie.
And Z Nation.
Yeah, what if you had zombies? You see the zombies in The Walking Dead and they all shuffle slow. So you can go through a bunch of 30 of them and you could stab them all in the head before they could even react to you if you're fast enough.
What was the Will Smith remake with the zombies?
I Am Legend.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of waiting for with this whole COVID vaccine.
That was kind of a remake of the, if you didn't know that, Will Smith's movie, I Am Legend. That was a remake of Charlton Heston in The Omega Man. Charlton Heston and Anthony Zerbe played the head of the zombies. We didn't even know what zombies were back when that movie came out. That was the late 60s or the very early 70s when The Omega Man came out. When my mom dropped us at the theater and we went to see it, I was like 10. Scary. And yeah, it was a little scary. The guys with the glowy eyes and the white patchy skin, because they all turned into these zombie types, but they could communicate with you. They could talk with you, and they were demented now, and they didn't bite you and eat you. It's just, I don't remember what it was like. They were all the products of some disease. If anybody remembers that movie, you remember Charlton Heston and The Omega Man? And the zombies didn't eat you. They didn't need your brains, but they were like, all started dressing in black hooded robes, and lived underground. They couldn't come out in the light of day, that kind of thing. And I don't know what their goal was anymore.
Rhonda answered your question. She's right on Great Lake Huron.
Oh, fantastic. So Lake Huron. I have not been to Lake, or have I? Doesn't Lake Huron come down to Lake George, somewhere there? Wherever Fort Ticonderoga is in New York, there's a pinch of lake in between there, between two different lakes, Lake George and Lake Huron. Let's see. What else we got? The only movie that ever scared me was Phantasm. Was that the Vincent Price one? I don't remember that one. So I have things from old movies that made permanent visuals in my head for some reason. They weren't necessarily scary, but I saw them when I was a kid. There was a thing, Dr. Phibes. That was a Vincent Price movie in the early 70s. And but Dr. Phibes, and I remember a scene in a dinner party where everybody's wearing big masks. And some guy has a tuxedo on. It's his dinner party, but they put on these big mask heads, and it's just a dinner party, cocktail party. And he's walking around doing the rounds. He's apparently a bad guy or something, or somebody who'd done something wrong. And the thing about, he had this big frog head on, and it was metallic or something. And he's walking around. He's got his drink in his hand. Hey, how you doing, Roger? And they're talking, and the thing keeps tightening. There's like a tightening thing, and he on a cinch, and it click, 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 click. It keeps tightening, and he starts, doing this. He can't get the thing undone, and starts screaming inside. And tightens so much it lops his head off inside the mask. I think that's what happened at the end, but he dies from it. So there were all these things, and there was a scene where Dr. Phibes, and he screws a hole in the ceiling, and he drips like honey or something on some woman that's sleeping, and then releases locusts into the room, and they eat her bare while she's sleeping. They eat her into nothing. They must have drugged her or something first. So scenes like that, I've seen things like that make these little impressions. I can tell you much more about the movie, but there you go.
You know what movie got me was 28 Days.
28 Days. That was one of the first big zombie movies.
Mm-hmm.
That was before you and I were together.
Yep.
That came out.
I struggled with that one for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think zombies would keep decomposing.
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to, but then new people get it. Apparently, everybody, according to the lore in Walking Dead, isn't everybody's already infected.
Yep.
If you die, you turn into a zombie. If you die natural causes, have a heart attack, you turn into a zombie because everybody's infected.
That's what I've been binge watching. We watched all the Walking Deads. And then Fear the Walking Dead is what I'm on now.
And that's because if they die, somebody dies that you love. Oh, he had a heart attack, or he's got cancer and he dies. They always have to stab him in the head because of the brain.
Somebody said something about the zombies decomposing.
After they're dead.
One of the episodes I just watched on Fear the Walking Dead, and I think it's season 6, but I'm not sure. They walked into, it must have been a morgue or something, but they had whoever was in there had filled this body with formaldehyde. So this zombie was like almost brand new, fresh. She looked weird. Nice. She looked really weird. It was kind of cool.
Wow. Double tap. Like, always double tap, Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie. First rule, double tap.
I don't know if that's first rule. I don't remember
It's one of the rules.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
The second one was even good.
Yeah, the second one was not bad. So yeah, those two made a good team. Woody Harrelson, and I don't know the curly-headed actor's name. Always plays us kind of,
And Beth said 20 Days is not a zombie movie. It's a virus infected. They were still too much like, even though they were infected, it was like zombie-ish. It was weird. That one was gross. It was gross. That movie was gross. But I really loved it, and it scared the crap out of me.
What's right across from you, Rhonda? Let's see. Because I saw Matt say, been there many times watching the ships sail away. Let's see. Where are you at? That's right across from me, says Rockin' Rhonda. Sarnia, right at the Blue Water Bridge at the mouth of the River St. Clair. Across from Michigan, about an hour north of Detroit. Okay. So you're on the... I used to live in Detroit. And we went over to... what's the city right across from Detroit that's in Canada? It's actually south of Detroit because it wraps around a little bit. Windsor. We used to go over to Windsor every now and then. And
I haven't never been to Canada.
Yeah. Well, Canada's not that bad. I like Canada. Stretching tiger. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
leopard. Stretching leopard and crouching tiger. So,
Here we go.
so the old Edison Inn. That's in Windsor. Yeah, now I've been to Windsor, but I haven't been to the old Edison Inn. So, yeah, I lived in Detroit for a while. It was back in 1989 through 91. I lived in Detroit. I had a job out there as a creative director. So,
In a garage apartment,
in a garage apartment.
right?
I had a little tiny apartment when we first moved out there. And I worked for this little graphics house, print shop, was a creative director. And then one of our biggest clients, Guardian Photo, who at the time, this is pre-digital cameras, was the nation's largest independent photo finisher. If you took your photos to Kmart or Target or wherever to go, hey, I want this roll of film developed, we did that. We did the photo finishing. The only one bigger than us was Fuqua, which was owned by Kodak. Yeah. And so what?
It's like
Fuqua.
it's like the dude's name from Shrek, the king.
Yeah. Lord Farquaad. And so but I was creative director. They offered me a position. And they were one of our big clients. We always did ad campaigns for them. And they asked if I wanted to come and work for them as a creative director in their shop or in their company. Sure. And they offered me exactly to the dollar double what I was making where I was working. You can't turn that down. And so I went and I was telling Raini this story or somebody this story. And I said, my boss, who was also a friend out there, I came in and I was going to give him my resignation. I said, Gary, I got to tell you, I got an offer and I'm going to take it. And I hate to leave you, but I'm going to accept this offer. And he says, what? You're not even going to give me a chance to counter? And I said, well, sure, you can go ahead and counter. And I gave him the amount, and it was exactly double what he was paying me. And he sat there, his eyebrows went up, and he went, see ya, partner. It was great having you. He says, no, seriously. He says, I can't match that. There's no way. He says, I could maybe come. And all he could do was go up a few thousand at the most. And we were talking an increase of tens of thousands. And he couldn't do it. It was just the difference between a tiny little company and a huge corporation. And so I took that job, and I was there for about a year and a half.
What amazes me, maybe you don't want me to say this to everybody.
No, go ahead.
What amazes me is
I
you
don't know
had
what you're
all
gonna
these
say.
great jobs with great money, and you never like started a 401k or savings.
I had a
plan
401k
for
at
retirement.
Guardian.
Like, what happened? What happened? Where did all your money go? Like,
well,
how the hell did
first
you
of
spend
all,
that much money?
first of all, think of this. This was all happening in my late 20s.
So you
and I
don't
went from
spend it
being
all.
an independent to working for small art shops to huge corporation, ad agencies, and then it dropped off. We were bought out by Fuqua.
And that was in the 80s. So
And-
everybody was snorting their money or
Well,
spending
that
it on
was
hookers.
91 in 1991.
That's when Coke
So
and
I
hookers were
was-
coming to an end, but that's still where you
Coke and
spent
hookers,
all your
yeah.
money.
Yeah, you know,
With the
sniffing
movies, that's what the movies have
sniffing
me
coke
believing.
off the bare butt cheeks of an expensive hooker. That's what we did. But no, what was I in 91? I would have been 30, and it turned 31 at the end of the year. And so 91, I was 30 years old, and we got bought out by Fuqua, Kodak, and they interviewed all of us. But I remember being interviewed by the creative director at Fuqua. They flew us all out to, was it Raleigh, North Carolina, where they were headquartered. And they flew us all out there, a bunch of us in the creative staff, 4 or 5 of us. And I went to meet with the creative director. And you walked into his office. Okay, Gary, we'll see you now. And you walk in and all his lights are off. And he had this little desk lamp off. So like my copywriter, our full-time copywriter, he said, did you get, you interviewed with Gary? He says, I went in there and he says, it was like meeting the Lord of Darkness because he'd have this little lamp light on in the corner and he would sit with his back to the light and he'd be like in the shadows. So, tell me about yourself. Like, so, excuse me. So, he interviewed me. He didn't need me. He was the creative director. He didn't need another creative director. He could have created a side position for me, but he didn't. So the guy who was the CEO of Guardian, once they got bought out, he said, yeah, he liked me and he always came in. His name was Frank Abissi. He was in his 60s back then, so I'm not sure he's still alive today. If he is, he's really old. But he'd stick his head in my office and go, hey, kid. He goes, you want my Pistons tickets for tonight? Because the owner of Guardian Photo also owned the Palace at Auburn Hills, and he was part owner, if not the owner, of the Detroit Pistons basketball, NBA. And so we got tickets all the time. And we were mid-court, 2 aisles off the court. Was, when we got waitress service down there and everything. But he always had 6 tickets, and he would give them to me. And I'd take my buddies. Once a week at least, we went to a Pistons game. That was one of the benefits. But anyway, he came in and goes, hey, kid. He says, I know they discontinued your position. He says, but I've been made the such and such bloody blah, yada, yada, ritzy, Eastern Seaboard Sales and Operations, blah, 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 Executive VP. Title that was like half his business card long. And he says, you want to come and work for me directly? He says, and he showed me a flow chart of the company. And he was up here and everybody down below him. And then he made a line off to the side with me in a box. And he goes, if you want this position, you can come and work for me. And he says, I'm going to make you in charge of all the marketing events and event management coordination. Now, what that involved was Kodak. You ever hear Kodalux? If you're old enough to know film cameras. The Kodalux. We had a Kodalux race car that would do like the Miami Grand Prix. The Kodalux race car. Tony Stewart would drive the Kodalux race car. We had the Kodalux hot air balloon that would do the New Mexico, Albuquerque hot air balloon races. We sponsored a Kodalux boat in the World Cup in San Diego that year. And so we had all of this and then all these little things going on in between. And he wanted me to come on board and be his guy doing that for his region, all the events. Oh, hell yeah, I'll do that. And now my twin daughters, who are now going to be 29 in a couple of weeks, that's when they were born, right in the middle of this. So they were newborns. And the first 6 months, I was gone 4 out of 5 days of the week. When my now ex-wife had 2 newborns at home. And I said, I can't do this like this. And that's when I decided to move back up here. So I turned down that job. I left that job and came back up to Minneapolis and started my Uptown Marketing Group in Uptown Minneapolis, which is where when I say I lived and dwelt, and that was my neighborhood that was all burned down during the riots this last summer. It was right on the corner in Uptown of Hennepin and Lake. And Lake Street between Hennepin and Lyndale, about a 6-block range, thereabouts. That's what was all burned down. So anyway, that's when I came up here. So there you go. I can see you're thoroughly excited. I hope you do not reflect the excitement of the people in the audience. If I'm putting you to sleep. So let's see. Roger said, not to get political, but that's exactly how I envision meeting Joe Biden. Yeah, the dark room, the dim lamp, and the little uncomfortable touch. So, Raini, did you vote for me?
Gross.
Would you vote for me?
No, get off me. I'm creeped out right now. Get off. Ew, ew.
There. That's my Joe Biden impression.
I'm too old for Joe Biden.
Rockin' Rhonda has scouting stuff she wants to send you.
Ooh,
cool.
Scouting stuff. I love scouting stuff.
Maybe just a brief sniff, Roger, says Matt. Get a feel and move on. Wasn't that what Jerry Seinfeld said about noticing women's breasts? He was talking to George Costanza, the little bald guy. What's his name? The actor. And he was saying, well, I got busted. I got caught staring at her breasts. And he goes, no, he says, with women's breasts, he says, you don't stare. He says, you get a sense and you move on. So, Roger says, our Pinewood Derby is still a Scouts thing. They sure are. Raini was just talking about it last night.
I was too. So our cars aren't fast. Our cars struggle to be fast. The fastest cars last year, I think, were 213 miles an hour, and I don't know how to do it. So I was just asking if it was okay if I bought pre-polished wheels and axles. So maybe, just maybe, our kids will have a chance this year.
Flynn did he take first place once or second place?
No, he's taken second place.
Second place.
Yep.
Okay.
There's two dads there, and both dads.
They grew up in the Scouts.
Yeah.
They've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah, so one of the Scouts, Flynn's done now. I don't know that they do Pinewood Derby with Boy Scouts, but that dad and the son and
graphite powder on the axles,
so
Roger. We use that.
We don't have to worry about them, but now we have the other dad that has a daughter in the same den as Rowan, and they kick ass every year. So we always come in second, and I would like to try
to come in first.
To get first place this year. And I actually don't think they even came in first place this year. I think she came in second this year, and she was really upset. But Rowan didn't even place. Okay. So there was three other kids above Rowan.
Sorry, dog.
I would like to try to get first place this year. And we do everything. We weigh out the car to exactly 5 pounds. We put all the weight in the rear axle.
Ounces.
Or 5 ounces.
Yeah.
We put all the weight in the rear axles. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And I really try, but the axles, I can't ever seem to polish the axles or wheels the right way. So, yeah, Pinewood Derby.
Oh, Daddy.
Stop!
Daddy wants you to polish some axles.
I'm not polishing your axle. Go away.
I couldn't help myself.
Here, and I'll be right back. I gotta show you. I gotta show you my Pinewood Derby box. I got a whole box.
You got a whole box of Pinewood Derby stuff. Let's see. There was a hardcore dad when I grew up that built a full practice track in the garage. Those kids were unbeatable. Yeah, that's it. You know.
Here's my Pinewood Derby box. I got my scale, which makes me feel like a drug dealer. I use my scale for
there you go.
Stuff too. So there's my Pinewood Derby scale. So
she weighs out her marijuana.
I got bits and stuff for drilling into the cars. For my
Dremel stuff.
My Dremel's not in here because I use that besides Pinewood Derby. But there's my graphite powder. We got the whole little for doing the wheels, the hubs, not the hubs, whatever.
Yep.
What is it? Yeah, this one's the hub tool.
Oh, that's your scale box.
Yeah, that's all the rest of the stuff for the scale. And I'm a clearance. I like to find everything for super cheap. So look at how much that was. That was $25 and got it on clearance.
For how much?
For $6.
Nice.
$6.24.
Nice.
But here's all my weights. I use the lead fishing weights.
Cool.
Right? What else we got?
I'm glad, Roger, that you look at that and you Dremels are the best tool ever, rockin' Rhonda.
Oh, here's Flynn's first car we did.
That was a few years ago.
The
wheels are off of it.
I took the wheels off because these were the best wheels I've polished so far. So we just kept reusing the wheels and the axles. I don't know. That's all my stuff. All the stuff.
Everyone grows pot here, but then you can buy it at the store. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you should grow pot instead of buy it at the store.
Yeah, grow your own.
If it's semi-free, it's for me.
That's right.
So anyways, that's my Pinewood Derby.
Always
box.
a smart shopper. Oh, here's your scale. Don't forget your
Yeah, I leave that
pot
up 'cause
scale.
I use that for other stuff. It's not a pot scale.
Oh, sorry.
I said it's not for pot.
Oh, not for pot. Okay, got it.
I said, but
All right.
it makes me feel like a drug dealer.
Makes her feel like a drug dealer. Come over here. I'll tell you if you feel like a drug
That's
dealer.
how I weigh out all my resin.
That's it. Yep.
So I get my oh.
So
Yeah, so Pinewood Derby. Hey, if anybody's got some cool ideas for cars, I got to make 3 again this year.
there you go.
Yeah. Well, I don't just do it myself. The kids did help out.
They did.
I got to show
We
you
go over and
Ellie's
we
car.
jigsaw out their cars and stuff.
Did we show Ellie's car?
There it is. Yeah. Now this isn't an official car, but they
This is
made
an
a car
official
for.
car. This is Pinewood
Oh,
Derby.
did she actually race that?
She actually raced it. It's all up to Pinewood Derby rules.
Rules and standards.
It's all one piece until Scotty stepped on it and busted it. But from here and follow the zigzag, that's all one piece of car. And then I put air mold. We put air mold over it.
Yeah.
Or air dry clay.
Now, we didn't think that she was going to win or anything, but she built that car.
She had a lot of fun with
Somebody
the car.
was messing with it because I was walking through the office and I heard crick, and I looked down and I stepped on it.
Yeah, you can
So
see
somebody had it out of the
it's all cracked.
cabinet and cracked, so I super glued it together.
Yep.
So.
But she got first prize for design.
Where's some of Flynn's old cars? He
His
had
are
some
up,
pretty cool cars we've done over the years for him.
his are up in his room.
Oh, up in his room. Okay.
Mhm.
With he's got a couple of trophies up there.
And Rowan likes to show hers off. Rowan got second place one year.
How's the axle? That's choice. It's just fine.
Yeah. But yeah, so this car went 187 miles last year.
Yeah, per hour.
Per hour. That's it. So at least the nice thing is if
You
I
know,
can
for
get
12
her,
feet.
if I can get her car up to doing at least 205, that should put her in the running for most improved speed.
Here we judge for design, says Rockin' Rhonda.
We judge for design. You want to make everybody feel good about what they're doing. So even though mom or dad probably take over the polishing of the axles and the wheels and
Yeah, we do a lot of the work. We do the jigsawing and the lathing and the sanding and the shaping and the painting. And what I tend to do, like for Flynn's, I'll design stuff on the computer and we'll print it out.
Paste it on and
Glue them to the surface of his cars. And so he's got cool looking cars with cool looking graphics on them.
Wedge is what we've done with almost all of our cars, except
Wedges.
for
Yep.
Ellie decided last year she didn't want speed, she wanted pretty.
I don't want speed.
And it was supposed to be a worm, but I talked her into doing a snake.
Worm, snake.
Yeah.
It's a size thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a girth thing.
Yeah, totally.
So totally.
What do we got here? 1/2-inch thick rear, and I've put lead weights buried in the wood. Yeah, that's kind of. I know you can't really see it, but there's a whole bunch of weight stuck in. Like that's weight stuck on there. All around here is glued weight, but to try to make even weight, this car.
Hey, Flynn, come here.
The whole way down the track.
He heard me. We'll see if he heard me. I wanted to bring a couple of his cars down so you can see them before we're done for today. But
Flynn!
Hey, Flynn! If he doesn't hear me, I'll get up.
He ran upstairs, I bet. Hold on.
Come here.
He said, hold on.
Hey, will you grab a couple of one or two of your derby cars and bring them down?
I don't know where they are.
Oh.
He doesn't know where they are.
All right. Buried in his room.
They're not even in my room.
Oh, that's where we thought they were. In your room.
I'm not
So
gonna
he
come
doesn't know where they
downstairs.
are. So, So what? We're just going to show you.
Mommy will pop the air mattress if mommy bounces you. Oh, I'm stuck on the lamp. There we go.
Uh-oh. It's cramped in here. Doesn't look like it necessarily, but it is. It's cramped. We have too much stuff. Too much stuff in one room. This room needs to be at least twice the size it is to accommodate our studios. But it's half the size. That's it. If we build a container home, there's going to be a big open area that is going to be studios, and where we can set up a photo studio and other studios and start doing shop stuff in there and things like that. So we'll make that all happen. Barry Chad says, my grandson did the Derby also.
Derby's a big thing for our pack. We have build days. There's 2 build days where you go over to somebody's house, and whoever wants to help assist other parents who might not know what they're doing, you go in and they have all the tools. They have the saws, they have the sanders, they have the drills. So they want your axles polished.
Yep.
There in the garage where it can be loud. So they try to get all that done in two days. Pick a day, go over there.
Thanks, Matt.
Out. And then a couple weeks later, they have another 2 days where you can go, and they'll make sure your car's ready to go. Make sure that your axles are
hell yeah, Iowa,
bent right, and that they go down the track, and that you can fine tune so that you can get the fastest speed for your car.
You know, answering Iowa X here, make a Roman style central square garden. I've always wanted to do that. I love the old Roman villas because it was warm there. They were always open air into an inner court, which was open to the air. There were no walls on the inside, and they'd put curtains up and things and find ways if it got cold weather. But I just wanted to have a house that had a central square in it.
What?
Or an atrium. For me, to make it an atrium, I'd love to have it be a garden open to the outside. But then you're limited in your house space to what's around the outside. If I put a roof over that and make an atrium, you know, you can put your big open area down there, your living and kitchen and family and all of that, you know, big open space, and the bedrooms are, you know, and so on. We'll design it. So go take a look at some of the designs. Just do a Google search and look up container homes and look at the stuff that you can build. Some of it's incredibly nonsensical for us. You know, some designer guy, you know, was on one of these shows. He built like a $750,000. I got $750,000. Why am I going to build a container home? Yeah. He was doing it to show that he could.
No, I didn't.
Excuse me.
No, I didn't.
Excuse me. Are you yelling when we're doing a show?
TV bus. You guys are.
You can come and whisper to Mom. That's it. Let's see. I'm looking at a container home for my parents, says Melissa. Yeah, we're looking into doing that. Maybe if all goes well by the summer, we hope. We'll have to see what happens. So Roger says, I'm confused as to how they go so fast. They launch them, they start them up high and go downhill on tracks, and then they flatten out. It's only about 5 feet tall.
In a little bit.
And they go down the slope, and they pick up speed.
You don't even have to.
That surprised me that they could go so fast too.
Go turn the TV down, one of you.
So
it's too loud.
I get to design my own room. I'm designing the whole house.
Are you? I'm going to design the house with Mom.
I'm designing my room. I'm
designing your room.
my room.
You're going to design your room too?
Wait, I'm going to go get my room picture.
There you go.
I probably threw it in the trash because it sat on the floor. Shut the door.
You got to figure this room it's not 12 feet. Hey, tiny. It's maybe 10 feet. So you can get those containers that are 10 feet by 20 feet. You know, things like that. So
come out and be my pet cheetah.
Shut the door. I do not want to hear Victoria.
Okay, guys.
Come out and be my pet.
You better
we're
go
going to start wrapping up here
because
pretty
I'm shutting
close.
it
You can
off
see
as soon as I come out.
the natives are getting a bit restless. We'll be wrapping it up in a few.
You're a big fat turd, bird.
So I love the way, I got to end with this. Not even end with this, but start to wrap up with this. I look at a New York Post article that just popped up here.
And go out.
The headline was Brian Sicknick's father hopes the Capitol cop's death amid DC protests stops all the lunacy. And the wording they used, how he was bludgeoned to death. He was pepper sprayed before he was bludgeoned with a fire extinguisher while tackling fellow Trump supporters. How about just tackling people that were the criminals that were doing the wrong thing. I got to make sure it's labeled as a Trump supporter. So I got to tell you what, with the what they called 500,000 people that were outside peacefully protesting, to have this veritable handful that were causing problems on the inside, they've got to make sure you know it was a Trump supporter. It just tacks onto everything else the press and the media has been trying to do for 4 years. So he ended up with a clot in the brain because somebody nailed him and he died the next day. And now they're saying one of 5 fatalities from that day. People were trampled. They said some people died of natural causes. They weren't sure. One woman was shot by Capitol Police. We've talked about her, and so on. His death was a waste, which I agree says his father, the mayor of Sicknick's hometown in South River, New Jersey. It's just a tragedy. And yeah, it is. That part is the truth. So that just popped up on my screen. That's why I brought it up. The Capitol cops, says Iowa X, turned on their masters and let them in. They know everyone hates Congress critter whores. And you're right. I posted some videos that showed the Capitol Police were opening up the doors to the Capitol and letting all these people in. There weren't many. When you compare it to the size of the crowd that was there peacefully protesting, there weren't a lot of insurrectionist types, infiltrators that went into the Capitol building. Yeah. Do we have a confirmation that the 5 deaths were also COVID deaths? I'm surprised they weren't mentioned that way. Complications to COVID. Let's see. Who are these people that do harm? They should be displayed and punished. I agree. Well, the guy who shot Ashley Babbitt, the Air Force veteran who had kids, she was there. She knew what she was doing. If she was in the wrong by going into the Capitol, she knew she was in the wrong. I don't think she thought she was going to get killed for it that day, but she did. They thought what they were doing. I think most of these people, without defending them, I think they were people that thought they were there. They were smashing windows and doing things, but to get in, but they wanted their voice to be heard. And what did we learn all summer long? Sometimes you have to tear down a statue to have your voice be heard, even though it's illegal. So it's that kind of thinking. And yet, if you bring that up now, you're a racist. If you bring that up, you can't compare it to the BLM stuff. Well, yeah, you can. If you're outside the box, it's all the same thing. So let's see. Calm on the inside while the chaos ensues. Isn't that the truth, Melissa? Who shot Ashley Babbitt? It was one of, you can see him. He's somebody with graying hair. He was wearing a suit. I've put up the video that actually shows, it's disturbing for some, but it actually shows the windows, and you see his arm up with the gun, and you hear the commotion. Then you see him, bam, and you see the gun go off, and then the camera quick turns, and you see Ashley Babbitt fall. It looks like she was starting to climb on the door. They were smashing out the window of the inner door. They were all in a stairwell. And they had all been let in. They didn't have to smash the door to get in. The cops let them in. Who's behind her? She falls almost into the lap of what looked like a SWAT team that was right there with her. They had the big assault rifles and the riot gear on. It said police all over them. And she fell right at their feet. And there was a man in a suit right there as well, who had a mask on. And he got down and was feeling her chest, saw that she was bleeding from her mouth. This is all instantaneous. This whole video is less than 30 seconds long. And he stands up and he points down to her, and the police are telling everybody to back off, please. On the upside of the stairwell, and the camera looks at them. Everybody's got their cameras out and they're taking pictures of this. That's when she got shot. They said that the man who shot her has been released. He's been terminated from service. We don't know what's going to happen after that. Did he have a right to shoot her? Maybe legally. Was there a legal right? If he feels he's defending the Capitol, maybe. I don't know what the protocols are there for that, but she's climbing on the door and he shoots her for climbing on the door. Shot her right in the chest and she died. And you can see the video. I've got some of the posts up. You can even look for it and it's still out there. So it looks like the same anarchist who exacerbated the left-wing mods did the same here in an effort to further divide us. Yep. The mobs, sorry. The greatest story ever told had such scenes. Yes, Joyce. All part of the great deception. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, it was stupid. A stupid shooting or a stupid climbing on the door. You know, if I went to protest and I climbed on a door frame to go through a broken window, I wouldn't expect that somebody would shoot me. I think, very honestly, and it's not that I'm naive or anything like that. I think these people thought they were protesting and they had a right to, maybe not a right to destroy any property. And I keep hearing the left going, oh, the destroyed property and the this and that. And you know what? They broke a couple of windows. They didn't set fire to anything. They didn't topple and smash statues in the rotunda. They walked respectfully through the rotunda, stayed within the velvet lines. A couple of them ransacked offices looking for information, I'm sure. The one guy's been arrested who put his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk. He was a whack job anyway. Look at him in other videos. The guy's an absolute whack piece. The guy with the horns got arrested. Don't know if they're just going to charge him with breaking and entering, destruction of property. I don't know what it is that they'll charge them with. Are they going to charge them with insurrection? Probably not. The whole charge from the left of insurrection is banal. It's stupid. It's playing to a leftist audience. It's political theater to get what they want. That's all it is. I have a CPL and know exactly what the Michigan law states, says Matt. Look at it as Marxist. That's the way the authoritarians are so afraid. Yeah, why are they so afraid of Trump? Why are they so afraid of all of this? Why did they not want to? I got in a little debate with somebody online last night, and I finally told him, he was on one of my posts, and I said, dude, it's 1 a.m. and I'm on my phone. I'm laying in bed. I'm done talking tonight. Oh, you just can't answer me. Whatever. No, I don't want to answer you right now. And it's somebody I knew. And I said, look, dude, I said, tomorrow, another time. He kept posting. I finally deleted his post. I didn't even look at what he said. I deleted his post, which is something I don't do. I've never done that to people. The only time I delete posts is when they're abusive towards somebody else. And I just said, look, I told you to stop. I'm done for the night. Good night. And he says, there, I guess I've just proven that you can't make your point. And I go, hey, you proved your point? I said, if you came here to prove your point, I said, well done. Good night. And so pat yourself on the back. And sometimes there are people that you can take out verbally and you just go, look, dude, you're asking me the same questions I've answered over and over and over again on posts since this all started, on my radio show, on all different, and you know what? I'm not typing it out again from my phone while I'm laying at bed at 1:08 in the morning. So, Matt, hell, I've never had that gall to keep you up with arguing. Yeah, exactly. Don't keep me up arguing. If you keep me up arguing, doesn't mean I can't argue with me. It means I'm done for the day. I don't want to type it out again, especially on my phone, which has the intuitive typing on my phone is for shit. So I have to retype half the words I type. And because it doesn't compensate with intuitive texting. So, hey, CW, you have a great day too. Thanks for being here. Great having you here today. I appreciate it, CW. So there it is. You know, there's a lot of people out there that it seems like there's this huge tide that is moved against Trump and against anybody on the left, on the right. And you are seeing a lot of this where you're seeing people being banned. They want to not only silence Trump, now that they will have the votes in Congress, what do you think is going to happen to try to silence or do things that will, in effect, have a result of silencing a conservative point of view? Think about that, will you? Hard and strong. I asked people to think about that before the Georgia votes. Hey, if you're in Georgia and you're voting, think about what the result of your vote will be. We asked people to think about that in the presidential elections, in the senatorial, all of that stuff. You ask people to think about things. Think about balance of power. And so there you go. When Chaz takes over a city area, it's not okay to shoot them. Yet this poor lady gets shot at a publicly owned building. Yeah, that's it. It's the people's building. And she got, and there has to be a standard. I get that. There has to be rules and regulations. But here's the big question. I have said in police shootings, I don't care if you're black or white or anything else, somebody gets shot for running from the police for stealing a loaf of bread. Should the police let that person just run, or do they shoot them down? I always said, back when John Ward and Rocky and I were doing the Situation Room a few years ago, that came up. And I said, the police should just let certain people run. Somebody robbed somebody. Are you going to kill them for stealing somebody's purse if they don't stop? Are you going to kill them for stealing a car if they run from you? At what point is lethal force okay? This is the question we used to ask with police work. What point is lethal force okay to use? Like the guys that got in trouble, the white cops for shooting black cops. Some of these guys were running away. Well, you know what? Let him run. If you're too fat or out of shape to catch him, let him run. You'll find him. You know who he is. Let him run and find him. It all depends on, is the crime great enough to ensure that you could very possibly kill somebody, take their life, the rest of their life away from them for committing a petty crime because they ran away from you. That's where I have a problem with it. You know what? You don't shoot to maim. You holster your gun. Guy's running. We're not going to catch him. I'm not going to kill him for doing what he did because he ran from me. And sometimes they don't even know what crime, if they've even committed a crime. They see somebody, I don't know, drunk in a park and they start to frisk him down. The guy runs. They get shot. Why? Why is that an okay thing to do? I don't think it is. Bring this all back to the Capitol shooting. Was it okay for Ashley Babbitt to be shot for breaking a window on a door and crawling up to try to crawl through? Should she have lost her life for that? Well, the argument is, well, the people on the inside didn't know what she was going to do. They didn't know she didn't have weapons. You got a SWAT team right next to her, coming up the stairs with her, right behind her. And you don't know whether or not she's safe? The SWAT team put their assault rifles on that guy. I saw it when she fell to the ground. They had their rifles up pointing at the guy who shot her. And then they lowered them when they said, back down, or whatever they said. Watch the video. So what went on there? Should she have lost her life? Should she have had in her head, I will run the risk of losing my life if I infiltrate the Capitol building while they're in session? So it's not okay for me here. I'm going to back up and see some comments. Good to see you, Joyce. The Great Purge, says Matt Finn. Yep. Susie Q, it's okay if you're late. You're almost 2 hours late, but that's okay. Class is over. But that's okay. I'm so glad you still make it when you see us here. Let's see. Iowa X, Matt, this is a blip. A real purge will be bodies in the streets. You're right, Iowa. I hate to say it, but you're right. Almost a different answer for everyone, or different ANS for everyone. That's what makes it difficult. Susie says, let him run. It's not worth it. Yeah, let him run. I don't care if a petty criminal runs away. You don't shoot him if you can't catch him. You let him run. He got away. We'll get him next time. Or, hey, somebody's going to know who that was. We'll hunt him down and arrest him. The re-education officers better not come by my street, Iowa. Yeah. She had to be diluted. Exactly, Joyce. I think you're right. It's not okay for me to do it to protect my home. So why is it okay to do it in the Capitol building? Let's see. CW says, absolutely should not have been killed. Where are the riots? Yeah. How come there's no riots over her death? Because President Trump told them to stand down and be peaceable. Go home. But they want to impeach him or invoke the 25th because they said he tried to start a coup or an insurrection, which anybody in their right mind who is not playing a political game should not vote for that impeachment or invoking the 25th. They should stand up in defense of him, whether they agree with him, like him, or not. It's not about agreeing with somebody. It's not about liking the guy in office. It's about recognizing what is right and wrong. And I heard the arguments, well, his whole thing was a lie about, that's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with whether or not he was. I had this guy trying to convince me last night that Trump had tried to pull a coup. I said, no, he didn't. Takes more than protesters to have a coup. Somebody who's trying to pull a coup in an insurrection doesn't tell people to be peaceful and go home after the coup starts. If he'd had 500,000 people there that were there because he incited them to violence in a coup, an insurrection, it wouldn't have stopped with the ones that were there. Do you know 500,000 people can overrun a couple of guys with guns pretty easily? And I'll bet you there were guns on people in that crowd too. They're a Second Amendment kind of group. Were they there to use them to storm their way into the Capitol? No, but do they wear them in public? Yeah. I got friends who are not insurrectionists that wear their guns in public. Concealed. Me, I want to wear my gun. I want an open carry. I want to wear a holster. I want the holster right here on the front of my belt with my gun sideways. I want my 6-shooter right there. And then I want my Glock over here and over here. So, but I want to put on display my gun belt, buckles in the front, and I got my 6-shooter. 6-shooter. Hey, yeah. So I don't have a problem with that. Oh, we're a society that shouldn't have to rely on that anymore. That's so barbaric. Hey, shut up. Did anyone see the video where Mitch McConnell turns and tells the guy, are you paying attention? Then the guy behind him flashes the Illuminati hand signal shortly before the Capitol break-in. No, I didn't see that. I don't even know what the Illuminati hand signal is. Is it this? Is it a white supremacist? Oh, that's white supremacist now. That used to be, hey, A-OK. Now it's white supremacy. They better not come to my house, says Susie. Americans live in wood homes. Burn them out. They have one gun. Take their back door, says Iowa X. Love you too, Rhonda. Steph. There's Cuervo Queen, Rock and Rhonda, exchanging hearts. Morgan Snow, what kind of coin did Pence get in the handshake? Be interesting. I don't know. I heard somebody say, a commentator say yesterday that Pence has pretty much ended his political career. So, from the stances he took on things. over the last couple of days. Study the IRA, live to fight another day. Yep. That's right, Iowa. Roger Rabbit, the last place I saw it was on Jacob Israel's late video. Okay. Is it our fault for not voting in the good? Maybe.
Why is this in here?
I think it's the nation. Mom was showing it to people. I think it's the people's fault for not thinking while voting. I also still think the election was full of anomalies, but if you can't prove it, you can't prove it. That's why Trump promoted people to take a stand against it. Stand this way. But that's a coup now. It's insurrection now. Because you had a few crazies at the front of the line that broke into the Capitol. Jerry Armitage, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. We're just kind of wrapping up. We're just going through some loose thoughts here at the end. It's an upside down triangle. Yeah, it is, Matt.
Dad.
Oh, are you talking about hand signals? I don't know. I've always carried and always will, says CW. Carry permits are arrest lists, says Iowa. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Roger, says Steph. We the people have been far too complacent for too many years. And now it's going to be a very hard fix, if at all. I agree with you, CW. It's called not thinking with an open mind. There you go. So I think, yeah, this is what we've got going on in our country right now. We've got big changes coming. It's either going to be big changes or there is going to be a huge turnover.
Beep.
So are we going to see a red wave in 2 years in Congress? Will we see? And I kind of am hopeful about this. Even though that balance of power in Congress is all going one direction right now, I would like to think that some of the legislation that the Pelosi's and the Schumers and the Bidens and Harrises and all the administration around them want to pass, I would like to think that there's going to be enough common sense in there that some of those people, while even identifying with the Democrat Party or the left, are going to break away from that when votes come. They're not bound to vote that way at all, and it all depends on constituency. What do their constituents have to say? There you go. That's just in case you all don't know who I am. That's a Scott Roberts with an arrow pointing
No,
down.
it says Scotty.
Oh, Scotty. I got to take that off my forehead, though.
Why?
Scotty Roberts. There you go. You even spelled that right. So, yeah, it'd be a good time for the aliens to step up. Hey, Audrey. I was going to say Audrey has to be in on that. Going to be an interesting 4 years. Yeah, it is. Iowa says cops will show up at 4 a.m. Lying about a car crash, fill your house and take your guns, toss you in jail too. Cool off while you eat shit food and get beatings from gangbangers. There you go. That's a lovely thought. So anyway, this is all stuff. We'll be talking about some of this stuff this week. We still have our stuff on Enoch we're going to finish. Enoch and the holy language. That's what we've been talking about for a couple of weeks. We're going to wrap that up here pretty quick. So make sure Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Western time, that you come on over to the radio show, the Intrepid Radio program. And Raini's back. This is some great conversation going now, but we've been going for over 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So we're going to call it quits now for the day. And like I said, remember Sunday mornings? It's not about getting a lesson. Sometimes we'll have a lesson. It's about Raini and I come in here and talk about stuff. So I hope that you enjoyed the first part of this show. Hope you enjoyed the second part. A little more substance talking about things going on. I just lit the grill. Coals are forming to cook today's steaks. Right on, James. Throw a couple more on
Yum.
for us. I would like a steak right now. So ACLU just came out against killing of Parler. Guess they finally realized all this can be used against anybody who's not tooting the government line. Bam! Spot on, Morgan.
You have to eat pig's feet.
Okay, pickled pig's feet.
No,
Pickled.
just pig's feet.
So I love our Sundays together too, Steph. You're cooking steaks now too. We may go out for steaks.
No.
I got
So-
eggs and sausage out there
Oh.
right now.
That'll do.
I made ramen noodles.
So she went and cooked. Look at that.
Rowan made ramen noodles and got them all over the 3 clean pans he left on the stove instead
Oh.
of putting them away.
Did you clean it up?
Yeah, Mom made me.
Yeah, good. So, all right. Yeah, it's about damn time somebody's speaking up. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, better stand up for the civil liberties of everybody,
I had to go
not
check
just
the
people
floor.
on the left. Remember, by the way, I brought this up before. The ACLU, remember the big landmark case in 1968 in Skokie, Ohio. This is where the neo-Nazis, who I do not support and I do not respect, and I think they're reprehensible and despicable, but the neo-Nazis wanted to have a march in Skokie, Ohio. Excuse me. In 1968, Skokie, Ohio was predominantly inhabited by Jewish people and people who had come out of the Holocaust 23 years earlier. And so what happened? The ACLU came out and said, you can't deny, even if you don't like them and find them reprehensible, if they are not inciting violence or violating the Constitution as American citizens, they have a right to speak their mind. And they fought for the white supremacist neo-Nazi party. And the Nazis won the case. And they marched in Skokie. And they said, just because they offend your sensibilities doesn't mean, just because they are on the opposite side of what you believe is right or wrong, if they're not committing crimes, you cannot withhold their right to free speech under the First Amendment. Now, I only bring that case up not because I agree with Nazis. I bring that case up to say the ACLU has come through on a couple of times to say, look, this is against what even the left would condone. And they stood for what was right constitutionally. And I think I would like to see that happen with this whole thing with Parler. Roger, thank you. And thank you and Carly and Kinsey for being here. He thanks you too, the Munchkins, he said. It's you guys. And so, yeah, the ACLU, that's good. Freedom of speech is all or nothing, said James, and that's right. ACLU recognized the fear they had mastered. Absolutely. Read First They Came, said Matt Finn. Read that book. First They Came. I'm going to have to look that one up, Matt. That case is down the memory hole. Just ignore what they do not like. That's it. And if you haven't noticed everything that's going on right now with the silencing of everybody on the right and the purging of Twitter and the purging of Facebook and YouTube and all this stuff, this is all being done as a knee-jerk reaction to what happened Wednesday, because somebody is painting that as an insurrection and a coup. And hold on. You sit here, I'm talking. While I'm talking, don't do that.
Talking is boring.
Yeah. You ask them if they're bored. So it's boring to you because you don't understand the topics, which I can teach you. If you want to hear them. One day you'll see it differently. So right now there is such a piece of political theater, political game playing, being foisted on the American people. And I hate to put it this way, because if you bought into it, you don't think. You're not a critically thinking person. If you think Wednesday at the Capitol was all about the president inciting violence and insurrection, boy, do you need to think better. And I'm sorry, it's that clear cut because it's been made into a political game. And I think people are going to find out really soon what's going to happen as a result of this. So there you go. Folks, we got to wrap it here. It's been 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you, Peanut Gallery, Parler's founded by the Secret Service agent. You trust it? I don't trust Parler, but I do trust some of the people on Parler. So there's that. Somebody's always behind something, Iowa. I think I would trust Parler more than I would trust Twitter or Zuckerberg. So there you go. Clear as a Liberty Bell. So there you go, folks. I want to thank you for being here. If you're not a member, hit the join button down below and check out the memberships and the perks that you can get for it. It's $2, $5, and $15 a month. One of those three. Choose the one you like the best and become a member. It helps our cause and it gives you hopefully something a little extra that you enjoy. So I'm going to mimic what Scott Allen says. Have a fantastic day. He's going on a small hike. I'm going to get some sun. We could go on a small hike, but we're not going to get sun. We're going to get snow and cold. It's not snowing, but it's cold and snow and icy outside. We'll see what happens. It's going to be in the mid-30s all week. That's above freezing. Let's see what happens.
I like snow better.
For January, that's pretty good. So, folks, you guys have a great Sunday. You have a great day. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night and all through the week for the Intrepid Radio program. Thanks for being here. Love you all. I appreciate the fact that you take your time and spend it with us on a Sunday morning. See you later.
Summer sucks. I don't like